The Russ Martin Show on Live 105.3.
Well, what happened to your website? Somebody said that LA Lamont XXX, somebody else has got it.
Uh-oh. I'm sure someone probably bought it right up, right?
Well, how did you lose it?
I don't know. They're probably going to try and sell it to me or something. I took 4 months off. I went home. I started painting my house, getting into on my family life. I've been taking my niece and nephew out. I mean, mind you, I haven't done this in over 10 years.
Yeah.
I have been so happy. I was talking to Rob, and Rob's like, you sound different. I'm like, I just feel like I'm on cloud nine. I missed 2 years of my life of just drinking and being a bad person. It's really weird how much you miss. And today I went out to Central Park with Mika, and I bought her a Louis Vuitton bag so she can be in it.
What are you doing? I'm just relaxing.
Oh,
I'm just waiting for her to get her story out, get it out of her system. All right.
You know, and I was gonna.
I think I want her back.
No, you have a girlfriend. You don't want her back.
I don't have anything that looks like L.A. Lamont.
For someone to
Your girlfriend is beautiful.
She don't look nothing like L.A. Lamont.
Your girlfriend is beautiful.
How tall do you think L.A. is? 5'8", 5'9"?
Yeah.
So just a perfect body.
Well, your girlfriend is beautiful.
But she ain't loves you. She's not L.A. Lamont.
You want to live with
LA
this noise, this sound?
I can do this.
You can't do this in person.
Yeah, I can. In fact, it almost sounds exactly the same in my head. Amy and I didn't go fishing last Sunday morning. What? Did I already tell you guys this?
No.
I went to Walmart, bought the Zebcos.
Okay.
Got some hooks.
Yeah.
And then we're getting up Sunday morning, and she said, what if we catch something? Then we went back to bed.
What do you mean?
I don't want to pull it off the hook.
Oh. You just release it. You let it go.
But you got to grab the thing and pull the hook out of its mouth.
Yes. You've been fishing before, right?
With my dad.
Did it bother you taking it off the hook?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I never touched anything. I don't even know if I ever caught anything.
My dad and I used to go bass fishing and crappie fishing a lot.
And you don't mind jacking around with a fish?
Yeah.
That's nasty.
Just a fish.
I know, but it's just nasty.
We always released them.
Well, I'd be okay with that, but you got to reach down, you got to pull the hook out of its mouth. I'm a pussy when it comes to that crap.
I know. Every once in a while, the fish would take it too far down its throat.
Yeah.
You have to get the pliers out, and you know they can't. The fish ain't having a good time. You almost just want to kill it to get it over with, but then you're like, dang. But you know, you did it, so you feel guilty.
So you got to do something. Why can't you just cut the line and let the fish go?
Because it'll die with that fish with a hook down its throat.
Oh.
Might as well just smack it with a hammer at that point. Well, being honest. Well, versus letting it die slowly and painfully in the water, you smack it. You flop a little bit and it's over.
I don't know if I can even do that with a hammer.
You have to.
You don't have to. I'd go slam it in the car door.
Yeah, we're roughing it. Killing fish in a car door.
And if the head comes off, you're just that much further ahead of cleaning it.
Yeah.
I can't do that. My dad used to be able to clean fish. I cannot do that. Gut it and have all that stuff on.
All right, you go build a fire. I'll kill the fish.
Remember Dan Lewis used to say, oh, no, Laura's the same as before and after the kids. No, I'm sorry. You have no point of reference, really, unless you count the listeners you fingered.
And what really do you expect to come out of his mouth on the air?
Absolutely.
Yeah, she had a couple of kids. I could stick my head in there.
Won't come near it.
I can get in there, wiggle my head back and forth. Yeah, I didn't hit nothing. I can hear it, but I don't hit nothing.
Like an isolation chamber.
Like wearing a helmet. Great big meat helmet. With legs.
Yeah.
My own think tank.
That's where I go when I want to be alone. All right. You want to try some? It's my Shangri-La.
Yeah.
You want to try?
See us play chicken in the pool, though. She never falls off.
Oh, I get it now.
Russ Martin.
Bill Gates and shove a garden weasel in his Peter.
They just want to make sure you're doing the right thing. You know what you're doing, and you make all the right choices.
What?
You make all the right choices when you load something.
They stuck a new computer. What do I have in here now?
It's a brand new Dell. Great sound card, ton of memory.
Do you know anything about it other than what it says on the box?
No.
You don't know the processor. How'd they decide on one then?
The processor was the best is available. Like 2800. It's that dual core processor.
So the Trackball Explorer mouse that I got is, they don't have the software loaded for it. So I'm trying to load it before the show starts.
Yep.
I find the download.
Should be easy.
I go through a list of questions. First of all, I tell it, I want Trackball Explorer.
Okay.
It takes me to the page. It says, which product do you want? I just told somebody. Then you got to do 3 or 4 drop-down boxes. Pick out which option you want.
Yes.
Last one it gets to, what language do you want? Well, God, but I just answered all the other questions in English. Why wouldn't you ask me that one first?
Yes, like that would be the very first one.
Then I get it to load.
Okay, so you
accept this agreement. I loaded it for a reason. Nobody reads that.
No, they don't.
Well, they just automatically have a little click thing on that box and just go to the next one. And when you buy Windows software,
I put it in myself.
You buy software from anything. You go home and you load it. It gets to the point. You accept all this. I bought the freaking thing.
Brought it home.
You think Fry's going to let me take it back because I don't accept the agreement? What are you really supposed to do with that? They don't take things that have been opened, especially software.
Got to be some legalese.
But if I don't accept it, I can't use the software.
You're done.
So that's a screw job in itself.
The fact that you bought it, took it home, put it on. Yes, I think I want it.
Well, it's not even that. If I decide I don't accept the agreement,
you're screwed.
I click no, it don't load. I can't take it back to Fry's because I opened it. Put the agreement on the outside before I open the package.
It should. We've just gotten so used to doing that. You don't even think about it anymore. It's just the process of downloading things. You just go click, yes, put an application.
Well, it's not even the downloading thing. Buying software, bringing it home, you got no recourse. No. Perhaps I'll get on the phone. I'll call for tech support.
Okay.
Hopefully I won't wake anyone in their camo up. I've got...
Have you accepted the agreement, sir? No.
I don't want to accept the agreement, and I can't take it back.
Oh, please.
Don't. I've got a version of XP at home that I bought.
Okay.
Loaded it. Put in the serial number that it asked for. Otherwise, it won't function.
Mm-hmm.
It's the wrong code. So it says, all right, call for tech support. Why?
You might as well just say, don't even bother with this. Or you can call for tech support. The answers are the same. You're not going to get your answers.
So I called them. I bought this new software. And I'm putting in the serial number that's on the box. And it's not working. Did it have Windows on before? Yeah. Why are you reloading it? That's none of your business. I bought it. I got the receipt. I'll be happy to fax it to you.
Yeah.
God knows what your fax comes out of. I'll fax it to you. It's a new copy. I'm just telling you, the serial number ain't working. Did you try it more than once? Why don't you go choke on a Pop-Tart? Finally, they gave me the code. Loaded. Everything's fine.
Oh, okay. It was a different code?
Yes.
Okay.
Then, about a year later, I got to reload it because I got some crap on the hard drive.
Alrighty.
Played everything off. Obviously, that code's not going to work. So I know I got to call tech support. I got to explain it to them again. Why do you keep calling me?
Because it keeps not working.
Did you install this before? I guess they keep track of that stuff.
Oh, yeah. They can see your ass for piracy.
Why are you reloading it? I cleared the hard drive. Would you get on it?
Your damn business.
I'm looking at camel porn. Oh, well, here's your serial number.
Happened to me just last week.
I would pay...
I feel for you.
Allah bless you. I would pay extra for tech support if somebody would swear to me they're in this country.
Yeah, you think some company would come out and do that just to make a point, and it wouldn't take much. What would it be? $10? Would you pay $20? And if everybody did that,
AT&T, I think, has moved most of theirs back over here, especially on their internet side, because they were losing customers because you couldn't understand.
Well, what are you going to do if everybody's outsourcing tech support?
There's always a level 2 that will be here, and that's what you have to get through. Just tell them
They won't let you get to level 2.
if you. So,
I'm sure that's on their script when you call them. Do not let them go to level 2. We don't want to talk to them. Here's your script. If you can't handle it, hang up.
get them a second off the script. Hold, please. Don't. Oh.
I just call and say, you know what? I've been through all your questions. Take me to level 2. And that generally works.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they'll have to give you a case number. So, okay, then shuffle me on to level 2.
I got an HP laptop. I lost a recovery disk. Call them. Why is this funny to you?
I know the story.
No.
I don't.
Yeah, I think I told you. I call them. I lost a recovery disk from my HP laptop. Here's the model number. I even looked up what the number was on the disk before I called them.
So you had everything.
I need to order this.
Good to go.
I'll pay whatever it is. Do you have the extended warranty? No, it's out of warranty. I want the disc. Here's the number. I'll pay you for it. I'll spiff you something. One moment. Yes. Gone. Comes back. Would you like to buy the extended warranty? No. All I want
You got him off the
is
script.
this recovery disk. And I'll tell you why, Lester. Is because if I don't have this recovery disk, the laptop ain't going to work, and I don't need an extended warranty. Here's a number again. One moment. I'm still talking.
He's reviewing his scripts. You know that? Once you get them off, they're screwed.
Why wouldn't that be part of the script? Somebody calls up, making it extremely easy for you. I've given him the model number of the laptop. I've given him the order number, the part number for the software that I need. That's all I need.
Listen to what you just said.
What?
Someone calls up and makes it easy for them. That you just blew them out of the water. They don't know what to do.
if I were to call up and said, I got a laptop and I need a recovery disk, then they're going to go have to dig around, find out what the part number is, and then that's going to take forever.
But they can at least start with page 1 and go through it and then go to page 2 in their notebook, and that keeps them on script. Anything outside of that book, you're screwed.
Well, how do I know where to start? Obviously, the extended warranty.
How long would you like for the warranty to be?
I can't use the computer because I don't have the recovery disk.
The options are 1, 2, or 3 years.
Wait, what did you do to it? I don't know. I just need the recovery disk. I can't use anything. It's dark. Old. Without exaggeration, I bet I went to hold 5 times. The last time he came back, he started someplace else on the script. I went, stop. Can you get me this disc or not?
Simple question.
Hold. I hung up and I just had somebody find it on the internet and I stole it.
That's odd that you had everything laid out for them and they couldn't figure it out.
It was as if I call up and I had made a bunch of things up. And that confused him.
Yes.
As opposed to...
I have everything.
Not only have I given you the model number, I went online and found the actual HP number. All you got to do is put that in, mail it to me. I'll meet you someplace. Back then, that's when Drew was still on the show. And, go find this software for me online.
Steal it.
I tried to pay for it. I don't care if it's piracy or not.
And I would actually love to see FBI or whomever handles that try to come after you for piracy, and you lay everything out. I tried to do it the legal way.
I don't believe you. Fine. Let's call them.
I'm going to lunch.
If you can get a disc out of them, I'll go to the federal pen.
Lock me up.
If you can't, you're going to go. I just don't understand why that's the one thing that I like about the Apple, the Pro that I bought.
Yeah,
the actual stand-up desktop. Is you load something, you plug something in, sees it, finds the software, you're done. You ain't got to reload. You got to do nothing.
Everybody says that. I mean, never used an Apple, but everybody says it's almost, and I hate those words, plug and play. Because ain't nothing I've ever bought plug and play, including electric fans, if it has any kind of computer attached.
So far, everything that I've plugged into that Apple, if it said plug and play, it was.
Wow.
You have 2 Apples now?
No.
I thought you bought a laptop.
No. Huh. I was looking at the Apple, they call it Laptop Air.
Yeah, the super thin one.
Yeah.
What do those run?
I think $1,800. But I got enough laptops, I don't need another one. I just wonder where Apple's tech support is. I've never had to call them for anything. In fact, if I had a question, I just called the Apple store in Southlake and they answered it.
That's, I think, their big selling point is you can bring it down here, make an appointment, and we'll fix it right on the spot.
Well, then I'll just start dealing with them.
And aren't they better on the internet just because things aren't made for the Apple system? As far as viruses.
I don't know. I'm afraid to surf on that one. I do all my nasty stuff downstairs.
So worst case.
With Windows on it, so I don't care what happens to it. In fact, I go to some weird site just looking for viruses. What, John?
So worst case, you can just wipe it or shoot it like you did to the other one. If it gets some horrible virus.
That other one had many chances.
Doesn't mean you drag it outside and put several bullets in it. Possibly you can sell it or just stop using it or take it to the store and have it fixed. Handguns are not a solution to everything.
I had absolutely gone beyond any type of level of patience.
I was talking to you on the phone.
I was working on something on Adobe. Work on it 45 minutes. It would hard lock. All right. I'll do it again. Open up whatever it was. Working on it. I'll save it every 5 minutes. So if it hard locks on me, at least I got something. It starts hard locking sooner, like it knows what I'm up to.
Oh, you think you're cute, do you?
Got past that. Last go round. Almost an hour. Hard locks on me. That's when I called JD. And guess what I'm going to do?
No, you're not. And then he proceeded to do it.
And hooked it while he was on the phone, hauled it down the stairs, took it to the side of the house, and put it down.
I didn't even actually believe it until I saw the actual hard drive, the bullet hole in it.
I could never work on computers as a occupation.
The patience that would take, no.
Because sometimes even the techs don't know what it is. Why is it hard locking? Well, there's a plethora of reasons, because it's a complicated machine. Well, do you have a best guess? No. Well, I believe my way will take care of this, because I'll just get rid of it. I'll put it down, a little ceremony, then I'll go get me another one.
Put it down. Yeah, that was fun.
Do you know what this computer cost?
$900.
It's not bad. Decent sound card.
A very good sound card. Because
and super fast. What's the fastest processor now?
I don't know.
It's supposed to be super fast. Excellent. Computer was like $900. Sound card, I think, was $300.
So it's $1,200 for the setup?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to guess something in the 3,500 megahertz range, because the Apple Pro that I bought, I think it was 2,800 with a dual core. I don't even know what a dual core is. I just thought something Apple made up.
No, that's the first time I heard that was people talking about video editing computers. They always said dual core. I have no idea what it means. I just know it makes it fast.
I wonder if that means one processor can work on one thing while the other one's working on something.
That's what the guy told me.
Okay. And this one has dual core.
Yes.
All right.
Apparently Apple's tech support is in Austin.
Then I'll start dealing with them. Or, it doesn't matter what I buy. I don't care if it's electronics, yard equipment. If it says you got your choice, free tech support, here's the 800 number, or here's a toll number that you can call, and you're going to have to pay X amount of dollars per 15 minutes. I'm going to pay it.
Yeah, I would too.
That's what Microsoft does.
What?
They charge you more to have a...
You call tech support, you have an option of, like, I forgot what it was, but there's one option where you pay for it.
Well, what's the other option? Call India?
I think sit and wait until someone gets to you.
No, I'll pay.
To not have to go there and go through the whole... Hold, please.
Have you ever called them?
Oh, God, yes. Uh-huh.
What were you trying to get?
I was trying to hook up a wireless modem. And just wouldn't do anything. And it said plug and play. All you have to do is plug it in. It'll play. And it didn't. And she wasn't bad. She took about 20 minutes to get me through a process. Did she
try and sell you anything?
Yes. Oh, yes. Extended warranty and something else. I can't remember. It's been a couple of years.
I just go online and I start typing stuff into Google, whatever problem I'm having, because somebody else has had the same freaking problem. Then you go through and you try whatever it was that they used for the resolve.
You gave me that suggestion on the Sony camera the other night. I spent an hour looking. Nobody had my exact problem, so I found a company in California that'll do it.
But you're handled.
I'm done.
All right. I brought a couple of messages from Lycus in.
Oh, good.
Actually, I just had time to do one because he's been calling the house.
Okay.
So I just the quality's going to be iffy because I just had to hold the pocket recorder
down by
up to the speaker. And he's baffled, almost bamboozled, because he can't figure out, well, I'm not calling him back.
How many times has he called you now? He got on this kick about
just over and over
2 weeks ago.
But I would delete him, so I don't know what Actually, he does say on here.
Okay.
He claims it's 10.
Look, you chicken, you don't return my calls. What the fuck is going on with you? You know, I don't want people to think this is some radio bit. I'm getting all these emails where people ask you if this is real. Of course it's real, for Christ's sake. There's my reputation on the line here. Now, look, I can't be on...
How's his reputation on the line?
I have to pick up the phone to ask him.
He's making it awfully you wanting to.
I'd rather go have dinner with Marty.
I tell guys, don't get married, don't be in a commitment, don't be in a relationship, and have you in the afternoon it up. You know, what is this all about? Do I have to come there? I swear I'm going to come to town.
Would you just nod your head at, Dan?
I can see where he's coming from as far as you messing up his entire chi that he's tried to build at night as far as men not getting married. And he knows
2 different shows.
I know, but he knows your importance here.
He's been married.
And he knows.
And he went through it 4 times. I believe I can have a shot at it.
But he doesn't want you to, and in addition to that, he's worried that if you do it, then...
And
succeed, or just do it, period, then other men who obviously, idolize you the way some do him will follow in your footsteps.
Just based on a marriage that might work.
Yeah. Because I'm sure some people... I
can quell his fears on that one. This one ain't going to work.
And that's his argument for saying then you shouldn't do it. And there's no reason to do it.
Listen me up. I've called you 10 times. What is it going to take? It's so goddamn frustrating. You don't need this. You don't need to be married. You got everything. You got a great job. You got great money. You got a great house. You got a great life. Why do you need to f it up?
Go ahead, answer that.
That's the one where he's got me stumped. I can't dance my way out of that
It's
one.
not going to F it up.
What's in it for me?
That was one that we haven't seemed to really gotten past. Other than just making her happy. Let her have this one thing. Because there's a lot of things you don't let her have. You don't let her travel. You don't want her family over at the house very often.
I let her family come over.
You let her family come over and you hated it the whole time. Every moment.
I had no reason to enjoy it. Chuck was there. Did you enjoy it? Thank you.
Okay.
That was convincing. He shook his head more in fear.
So, she knows you don't like her family to come over. You don't let her go anywhere. You don't let her travel.
And ask her stepdad, who thought it was funny during the egg hunt, because he's the one that said, let's rehide. We're in the backyard.
Okay.
He goes, all right, let's rehide them and we'll do it again. Chuck and I grabbed him. And he came up to the very edge of the pool. Oh, wait, you want to recount that statement? You want to take it back?
Well,
anything you'd like to add? Time to go!
So, let her have this one thing. And my other point was, your life's not going to change except for a piece of paper. Let her have one thing.
I'm going to ask you again.
And there's nothing in it for you. I can't get past that one. They're really, other than giving her one little nugget.
Now, I could take the sentimental route and I could answer the question. I love her. I want to show her that there's commitment to it. I want her to feel like there's some solidarity here. And as a result, I'll feel comfortable as well. Well, that's bullshit.
I was going to say, that's the only thing that for any man you can point to and say, this is what's in it for me. But you don't care about those things, so there's nothing in it for you.
There's no tax break. There are no other financial incentives for me to do this. I don't know how I got into this, and I still think John was the one that talked me into it.
How did I talk you into it?
Because you said nothing's going to change. Go ahead and marry her. Well, you did it.
That's what I'm saying today. Nothing is going to change. Go ahead and marry her. Give her this one little shining day. One day out of a whole lifetime. The day that chicks look forward to from the time they're a baby. A girl, at least.
So you don't think she has enough?
I think it wouldn't kill you to have to give her this one
I think
day.
It would.
It's not going to kill you. It's really not. It's all in your mind. It's just get it past. Hey, you have a piece of paper, it goes in the drawer.
And just to prove you wrong, I would wait until we were actually going through the vows and then blow my freaking head off.
Just to prove me wrong.
Yeah.
Well, he's not happy ever after, is he?
I was wrong. It did kill him. How long before we need a break?
No.
Who is that on line one? I can't read it. Does that say Marty? Hold on. Go ahead.
Misty.
Oh. You jacking me?
No, it says Misty.
Don't let him be my accountant.
It really says Misty.
If that's the yappy Jew, I'm coming in there to get you. Yes, Misty.
Hey, Russ. I was going to tell you what's in it for you.
Okay.
All right. Ain't you getting on the old side and then your girlfriend pretty young and hot? And one day you'll be drooling out your mouth and needing your diapers changed. Won't she be the one doing it?
I can pay somebody to come take care of me.
Yeah, but you never know what them people are going to take from you. You never know what those people are going to do to you.
They're not going to be able to take as much from me as she does every day.
According to you, she don't take nothing. According to you, she pays her own way and just lives under your roof.
I never said that.
I've heard you say that the only thing she's getting out of you is a car and the house, and that she goes to work.
How do you calculate that if she's paying her own way? She doesn't have to pay for anything. It's easy to pay your own way if you don't have to pay for anything.
Well, don't she?
That takes a lot of the pressure off.
Don't she bring home paycheck? Does she buy her own clothes? What's she do with her paycheck?
I don't know. I know I'm not seeing any of it. I know I'm not getting any benefit out of it.
Okay.
Paying your own way. Did you say bye?
No.
Oh, I did. We need a break. We'll be back.
We'll be back to the Russ Martin Show. Now, back to the Russ Martin Show.
See if you can find that list.
Yeah,
some of those don't make any sense. Is that Gail? Hello, Gail. What do you got?
WGN, Superstation. And in Rockwell, there's a wreck on eastbound I-30 at Highway 205. It's in the left-hand lane. Traffic, though, is backed up from Goliad all the way across Lake Ray Hubbard to Chaha, which, well, now it's Bass Pro. Everything else just slow traffic starting the afternoon. 161 southbound from Las Colinas down to 114, the right lane's blocked. On southbound 35 from Motor to the Mixmaster, it's stop-and-go traffic. And I'm Gail Lightfoot on the Russ Martin Show.
Thank you, Gail. It's warm, actually, overnight. About 67 for the overnight low, and then cooling off tomorrow down only into the 60s for the high. It's 81 now at Live 105.3.
Find it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's the top 50 words that women hate. Not necessarily words to be called, just
words they don't like in general.
Exactly. And, of course, being called those are in here as well.
All right.
You want me to start at 50 real fast?
Where'd you get the list?
It's like one of those blog sites. The website's holytaco.com.
Okay.
Do you want me to start at 50?
Yeah, I'll let you know when I get bored.
Okay. Pubes, leakage, taint, squirt, fupa, whore, discharge, camel toe, feedback.
Slow down. This is funnier than I thought.
Fupa.
What's a fupa?
You have to turn the mics off.
Yeah.
Oh.
Never heard of that one.
Really?
No.
That's when they got the big wad of fat over their clam?
Yeah.
Or they call it
the G word.
Yeah.
Yeah, that actually made the list as well, but that made it lower down or higher up.
Let me turn the mics off. What's a G word? I think you can say that.
Yeah, I think so. I mean,
why don't we not?
At least for now.
Yes.
Yeah. I'll throw it out later. I'll use it in a sentence.
That one actually came in at 14. Where'd I leave off? Oh, feedbacks. Okay. Mammoth. Not sure why that one. The P word. Breakout. Muff. Loose. Jolie, I guess is in the woman.
Got it.
BJ's. Retention. Prenuptial.
Wow, what number are you on right now?
Prenuptial is 33.
I would have thought that had been closer to their top 10.
Yeah, but I guess that's a good sign then.
All right.
32. Bloated. Then perm, wrinkles, non-committal, hysterectomy, panties.
Why do they like panties?
I don't know why, but I've heard that from a lot of women. They hate that word. They just hate the word panties.
What do they call them?
They just say underwear, or they'll be specific. If it's underwear, then they typically mean granny panties, or if they mean like they're like thongs, they'll just call it my thong or my G-string or whatever.
Amy calls them panties. Or squirrel covers.
I bet she doesn't call them squirrel covers.
Somebody does.
Yeah, you.
Probably one of the dogs.
That was 27. 26 is Flow, followed by Super Bowl, Outbreak, Stirrups, Rambo 1, 2, or 3.
Some of these are funny just because you know the pain that's associated with it. The stirrups, going to the gynecologist.
Oh, God,
The next one is up there with panties that I've heard that most women can't stand, and that's the word moist.
I don't get that one either.
I think it's
probably because most guys, when they're ready to have sex, you moist.
Why don't you make it that way and not ask me?
Because I'd like to know before I waste the time.
Well, get your face down there and find out.
Is that the way you check all things out? Stick your face in it?
I'm just trying to play the chick.
Why don't you just take a finger and let me know?
Why don't you get down there and do some business? And then I will be that word that I don't like.
You haven't checked, so you don't know if you're wet yet.
It's your job to make me that way.
It's your job to get your own self wet.
No, it's not.
I got my business taken care of. See?
I see it. Get out of my face.
Why is it I got to take care of you and me as well?
You're the man. That's what you're supposed to do.
I'm supposed to take this and ram it there. If it ain't ready for me, or there's going to be too much friction, I'm not interested. I'd rather go screw a pair of Toughskins.
Very romantic guy you are.
Got a better shot at getting in a pair of corduroy pants and banging you.
All right, so 21 was moist. 20, skeezer, followed by cramp.
What's a skeezer?
I think like a combination of geezer and just a skis, like skeezy old man kind of thing.
I thought it was kind of like another slang for slut.
Like an old slut?
Yeah.
It probably would be what Trey said, because
that makes
they
sense.
don't care. I don't care what they call us.
And actually, I was wrong. I thought this word was not on the list, but it is. Number 18, gash.
Thank you.
But the way you use it, it should be much higher. 17 is, I can't say all of it, so follow. Man in the boat rectomy.
You turn the mics off. Is that a medical term?
The website's holytaco.com. I don't want to chance it.
Okay.
Followed by beaver, then cottage cheese, the G word we mentioned earlier, gunt.
Yeah, you can say it now. Yeah. How fitting. One person can be called two words they can't stand that rhyme.
That's followed by lucky number 13, smegma. Then jammed, followed by skank.
Jam, probably, because, again, the way some guys ask.
Sure.
Yeah.
I've come in for some lovemaking. I want to get jammed.
Sure.
This one I can see. I don't see this being pleasant for anyone to hear. Episiotomy. You know what that is?
No.
Jay, you want
I
to tell
told
them?
you before.
What is it?
When they're having a baby, and
Oh, is it when they cut part of the vagina?
they take the knife and cut it so it doesn't rip. Because if it rips, it's jagged. If they cut it, it's straight, and they can stitch it back together.
Well, if you're going to sew it back together anyway, who cares if it's ripped or cut?
The doctors do. They said it heals better, and there's a lot less blood if they cut it
Oh.
versus it tearing.
All right. Whatever's best for them.
Number 9, male pattern.
I thought I was going to have to do that one time when I was taking a grunt.
I've had those where it feels like it's coming out too far back or something.
No, you get like midways into it, and it hurts too badly, and you're going, I hope this is the biggest part, because if I'm crapping a bowling pin, this one's going back up. And you sit there and you think, I'll sit here, I won't push, I won't retract, I won't do anything, and maybe it will work up its own gravy and it'll fall out on its own.
Yeah. I can work those muscles and make it smaller.
No, you don't move anything. You sit there and just wait. Possibly gravity will help me out this time. And it's just so painful, you don't want to finish. And it feels so tight that you don't even feel like you got the muscles to push anymore.
No, you don't want to. That would be as close to having a baby, I think, as we'll ever come.
So I thought I was going to have to cut it.
No. You're going to go down there with a knife and cut yourself?
Yeah.
Hey, sometimes if you're desperate,
it wasn't coming or going. It was just sitting there. And it hurt just to sit there while it's making up its mind.
Call the EMTs. I don't know. You got to do something with this.
Either chop it off like cookie dough or cut me. Cut me, Mickey. I can't even remember how it played. Obviously, it came out, or I'd still be walking around with it shoving up my pants.
I almost passed out one time. I swear to God, I almost passed out one time trying to get one of those out. Sitting there, I swear to God, I was like, oh my God, please don't let me pass out. I started to make a sack out of the shower curtain.
So you can breathe in and out.
That's got to sound sweet on the other side of the door.
How long did you sit there?
I thought I was going to pass out for probably 4 or 5 seconds. It was literally, and I sat there.
You mean from the pain?
Yeah, and just trying to just push, because I was holding my breath and just got lightheaded. Go, oh my God, I'm going to pass out.
Yeah, and you get to that point and you feel like I can push, and I am, but nothing's going on.
Yeah,
it's almost like you got your O-ring has atrophy.
Exactly. Oh.
And you really don't know what to do. Do you reach, and grab it, just see if I can pull it out? Because really, I'm considering the options. Try and pull it out, push it back in with my fingers, sit there and wait for a while, or cut myself.
Yeah, get a tow hook and have somebody yank it.
It's a grunt. It's not a tooth. Hey, wrap a string around that door for me.
Yeah.
You got a baby tooth? I got a baby arm. One tray.
Oh, you just sit there and you're mulling your mind. It's like, all right, if I just sit here, maybe the pain will stop. And then I finally went, all right, you know what? I might as well just get this over with.
Right, here's the big boy.
Yeah.
And
just squeeze as hard and just cry almost, but make it stop.
And then you get up and you check around just to see if there's any plasma.
Yes.
Because you don't know. You don't know if you've ripped something in the course of...
I bet you can.
When something that was supposed to be enjoyable when I started.
When was the last time you did that? When you took a lot of medicine? Because that'll stop you up and that'll make everything really, really hard.
Might have been after the vasectomy when I was on Vicodin. That clog you?
Yep. Oh, absolutely.
Fentanyl did that.
It'll make it like a brick.
I wish it had been that small. And then when it comes out, you look and you're really expecting to see something the size of a torque flight transmission. Until I'm working on cars now. And you look down and it's not that big.
It's just wide.
How could something... It's just what?
Wide. This is big around.
But you're thinking, how could something that small create that much pain?
Because the O-ring only goes so much.
And what is it with the ones that feel like they got grass burrs in them, stickers?
You mentioned that before. I don't really get those.
No, I don't know. They hurt like hell, though.
You have that glove?
Oh, yeah. I was like wondering, what was it, the oatmeal I ate? Is it the Captain Crunch? What?
Yeah, did I get drunk? Did I go outside and eat stickers out of the grass?
But they're not out, there's nothing poking out of them. It's just
No.
hurts.
When you're done, you look down, you expect to see football cleats shoved out of it. There ain't nothing.
I can't even remember having one of those. With stickers.
So anyway, that was number 10.
What was?
Episiotomy.
Okay.
All right, so for the top 10, number 9, male pattern baldness.
Why would they care about that? I guess if you're married to a guy and he has it.
Yeah. Number 8, fisting. 7, the C-bomb.
Where was the C word?
I'm sorry?
7.
7, yeah, 7.
People must not be using that right.
Yeah. That's like an injection handle in a jet.
It's not, regardless of how you deliver that word, even if you sing it, they still don't get a whole lot out of it. So the intonation really has nothing to do with it. All you got to do is drop the C word, especially if you're done with a relationship.
Yeah, if you throw in a few adjectives, maybe an adverb along with it.
You mean like seepage and some other stuff leading up to it?
Stupid.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you could throw anything you want in front of the C word, and that's a freebie, because they don't hear it. All they hear is the very last thing you said.
Magnificent.
Yeah. You magnificent. What? Did you hear both words?
Yeah, you're right. There's no way to soften that.
No.
That's the beauty of it. Number 6 is HPV, which actually reminded me, I'm surprised HIV or AIDS wasn't on this one.
Isn't the papilloma virus, is that just something women can get?
No, men can get it too.
Oh, I didn't know that. Why is it, isn't that what Governor Perry wanted to have mandatory injections for girls 12, 13?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So if guys can get it, why wouldn't they want the boys injected as well?
Because HPV in women in certain strains is a direct correlation to cervical cancer. Whereas men, if you have HPV, that's all you're getting. You're not necessarily, at least no studies come out yet to say you might get penis cancer.
Well, how do you know if you got HPV if there are no symptoms?
It depends on the strand. Because some HPV will show symptoms, most of them don't. That's why they want everyone to take the shot. That's why Perry wants everyone to take the shot.
Well, but if a guy can get the HPV, it doesn't make any sense why they wouldn't do the 12-year-old boys as well, because they're entering puberty and they're going to be sexually active. And that was Perry's whole reasoning behind this.
So I'm not sure if that test necessarily would work on boys or men.
Yeah, that didn't matter. Been very educational.
Yes.
Number 5 is flaccid, which I think that'd be on a man's list as well.
Well, we call it something else. The whiskey dicky.
Number 4 is slut. Number 3 is cankles.
They put it's a cankle. Is that fat around your ankles?
Yeah, cankles is when it looks like you have no ankles. It's just like calves straight to foot.
Oh,
I hate that.
On a fat chick?
On any chick, if they have fat ankles,
meat all the way down to the foot. Yeah,
it's weird. I've seen thin chicks with cankles. I'm like, how can you wear shorts?
What was the C word? Was it number 7?
Yeah.
And then what was 6?
HPV.
And then after that?
Flaccid.
I don't get why they'd stick the C word at 7.
That ought to be the top 2 for sure.
Who did the research on this?
The Holy Taco.
I understand that. Is it attributed to anybody?
It just says the Holy Taco research staff hit the streets and the malls armed with a list of 500 words that went a little farther and asked hundreds of women to tell us what words they really hated. Then we took the top 50 and put them in order.
Okay. Start back at the C word.
Okay. 7, the C word. 6, HPV. 5, flaccid. 4.
Sometimes it cannot rise to the occasion. It is quite limpy.
Yeah.
Squeeze it for a while.
Oh, you squeeze it.
I squeeze it all I can.
It's not my job. I thought my job was to get moist. All right, I'll squeeze it. Give it to me.
Make it talk.
What is it?
That's stupid.
I don't ever say it.
Stick a swizzle stick in it.
No! Won't that hurt?
Probably.
Okay, here goes the swizzle stick.
Try a drinking straw. See if you can suck it out. What, Dan?
Crazy straw.
Oh, yeah. Try a crazy straw. In fact, forget the front end.
Yes.
Stick it in the pool. And then the anticipation will grow as you can see it coming at you.
It's taking the final turn.
So number 3 was cankles. Number 2, bukkake.
All right.
Oh, we love that word.
I would think most chicks don't even know what bukkake is.
I think some think they do, but they don't realize the actual term.
Yeah. It's not really prevalent over here, unless you're looking on different websites.
Yes.
The Japanese seem to enjoy that.
Wonder why that is. Why they do it more than anybody else.
They seem to be in a lot of weird stuff.
Well, the chicks over there are real subservient, so they'll do anything for their men.
They're very what?
Subservient.
Okay. There's one thing to wait on somebody and have all their needs met, but I ain't wearing one of those dog collars and having you fill it up with spook.
Again, that culture is way different. It's whatever will make the man happy.
There was a survey that I read a couple of months back, might have been in Men's Health, that said foreign women are a lot easier to deal with than American, especially when they come from impoverished, poor countries.
Really?
That's actually something Lycus.
Well, makes sense.
Maybe I heard it on Lycus.
No, I think I saw that in the Men's Health as well, but I immediately saw it and immediately thought of Lycus because part of his mantra, obviously, don't ever get married. The other thing is, I only, meaning him, date
foreign chicks,
especially
and it's not
South American.
It's not specifically people from poor countries. It's just chicks outside of the U.S.
Wonder why they mean like French chicks?
Because we let them get away with too much.
Yeah, European men, they will hit their women.
It's not illegal there?
Not really. Well, they're not going to report it.
Yeah, it's tradition.
What part of Europe?
I was just around a German couple, and
let me guess, she hates taking showers.
No, but they were going back and forth. And
where did you see this?
Just socially.
In this country? Were you in the water?
In this country.
Were you flying over inland?
In this country.
Nevada. Okay.
They were going back and forth having fun.
We were at abuelas. All right, so they're having an argument. Do we need a break? We waste this whole segment on bukkake?
No, there were 48 other words.
All right, go ahead.
And we still got number one.
And
just sit on number one for a second.
After a while, someone said, why don't you just smack him? She goes, I would, but when I get home, he'll smack the crap out of me. And she was dead serious. It's like, that's illegal. She goes, well, back home, that's normal.
How old was the couple?
Late 20s.
Shazam. Yeah. Do I want to save the number one word?
I don't think there's any need to save it.
All right.
Although it's one that you like to use, but can you guess? Of all the other words that we've used.
I'm lost because they've got the C word and the other one's lower on the list. I've used it?
Yes.
Idiot?
No.
I'm trying to think something that seems innocuous to us.
Clam?
No.
Bitch?
No.
Well, hold on a second.
We've already run by whore, have we?
Yes. Whore. Is it whore?
Whore is not number one.
Yeah.
And actually, come to think of it, I don't think whore made the top 50. Oh, I'm sorry, 45, whore.
Oh, okay.
Just squeaked in.
Anybody else want to guess before he tells us?
I'm out.
Obviously, it's going to be anticlimactic.
Yeah, I mean, I gave you a hint with squeak. Think linoleum.
Queef.
Yes.
I love the queef. Did I break here? All right, we'll be back.
We'll be back to the Russ Martin Show. Now, back to the Russ Martin Show.
What is it, Ryan?
You have an Ethiopian online one.
They mad?
No, she wants to further prove how foreign women are better.
Oh.
Hello?
Yes, Marissa.
You know what? I definitely couldn't agree with you guys. Foreign women are the way to go because American women are too sheltered. I mean, they've been handed everything. And so they just expect you guys to lay over. Oh, by the way, hi, Russ.
Hi.
I love your show. I listen to you all the time. Hi, guys.
Hello.
Even though I don't know all of you guys' names, I'm so trying to learn.
How long have you been in this country?
Since I was 13. I'm 26. So it's been at least I'm sorry, go ahead.
And you think out of the 13 years, did you grow up in Ethiopia?
Huh?
Where did you grow up?
I grew up right here in California.
Where were you before you were 13?
In Ethiopia.
All right, I should have asked that. So, Are you in a relationship now?
I am in a relationship with a married man, and he is the best. He always calls me his perfect woman because he's 53 and he's a doctor. And
well, this is an aspect I didn't think about.
I didn't either.
That foreign women were good regardless of your current situation.
They're going to be fine with it, and you're happy.
But see, that's just the thing about it. It's like, you know, these American women, it's like, you know, after a while, after these guys are like sperm donors to them, then they just want to be like, well, I'm not interested anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to do that anymore. And it's like, whine. Why aren't you satisfied with what you have?
How long? Obviously, he didn't let you talk. How long have you been dating the married guy?
For at least about a year and a half.
Has he thrown out any type of indications he might leave his wife, or he says, I'm in this?
Yeah, now that's the question I really would like to know from you American guys. Would he ever leave his wife, or is it just a thrill of, I'm 53 and I'm a 26-year-old?
No, he's not going to leave.
Does he pay for things?
Well, you're not giving him any incentive. He's got the relationship. He's got both of them. He has the security of the marriage. He goes home. That's his sanctuary. And then when he wants to have sex with some strange, he's got you. Until you throw out some type of ultimatum, no, he's never going to leave her.
So, in other words, what should I do? Leave him whenever I'm ready to have a relationship?
Yeah. That's the only way to play that. If you stay status quo, nothing's going to change. That's what status quo means. He's going to stay married, and you're going to stay the other chick. What kind of things is he...
It's not like I don't realize what I'm into, because, I mean, the thing about it is...
Are you dating anybody else while you're with him?
Yes.
Okay. Well, then, just keep dating around. What do you care?
I really don't, because, I mean, the most fun about it is his money, and that comes very easy.
What does he do?
He's a doctor. He's a pediatrician.
Yeah. But if he's got a lot of money and you said foreign women were the way to go, to me that would mean you're low maintenance. Sounds like you like a lot of stuff.
No, actually, I really don't. I mean, he's helpful because of the fact that I am going to school, and you know, I'm going to school to be a teacher.
Is he paying Is he paying for your schooling?
No, that he does not do.
Who's paying for that?
I am.
Oh, all right.
I work. I mean, honestly speaking, I enjoy his company. He's very mature. He's not like these dumbass little babies.
Well, obviously you're wrapped up into him, and it does matter whether the relationship or blossoms or not. So why don't you just throw it out? You know what?
Why don't I do what?
Why don't you just throw it out? Either you come to some type of conclusion whether you're going to stay with her or not, and if you're going to stay with her, I'm leaving.
Do you think that would be really wise?
Why wouldn't it be? If you don't care, why not just throw out the ultimatum?
I don't know, because maybe a part of me is in love with him.
Well, then obviously you do care. So you're going to have to make the decision. You want to share him with this chick forever, or you want to stand up, have some self-esteem, and tell him this is not the way it's going to play out. I deserve to be in a relationship, not with somebody I'm sharing.
That sounds pretty good. That sounds really good. But
how tall are you?
Huh?
Are you pretty?
Am I what?
Pretty.
Yes. I'm 5'3". I weigh 125. I do work out. I run 4 miles a day. I mean, he calls me his little Viagra.
Does he? What all does he buy you? Does he pay your rent?
No, actually, he does not do that either. I mean, the thing about it is,
Well, all right, hang on. What does he buy you?
Whenever I need the help, well, first of all, he does pay for my phone bill, but whenever I need the help, he's always there, and it's like pulling teeth with me.
All right, let's go this way.
Okay.
What all has he bought you?
Jewelry. He has paid for my hair, my nails. We take trips sometimes, and he'll buy me clothes.
How does he explain? How does he explain the trips to his wife?
He actually travels a lot because also sometimes part-time he also works as a hair transplant doctor. So, you know, sometimes I go meet him wherever.
A couple more clues, we'll figure out who it is. Yeah. Or, you know what, if you really want to go this route, if you really love him and you want to have him, threaten to tell his wife. That's what I'd do.
I cannot do that.
You're what?
That's not.
You have
like
ethics?
it. Huh?
You have ethics? Perhaps you're...
I used to have ethics before I met him. I mean, I really
Your morality is stepping in the way.
Yes.
I know.
Tell us why. Do they have kids?
Yes, they do have 2 sons. One of them is actually my age.
Wow. All right, so it's not... Well, how old is the youngest?
The youngest is 23.
All right, you're not going to do any damage. Tell his wife.
I cannot do that. I am here to protect him. I've always protected him in this relationship. I've always protected him.
All right, well, then you know what? Where you are right now is exactly where you're going to be until there's some type of catalyst. You don't give him one, nothing's going to change. Now, if you want to date me for a while, I'm open to it.
Yeah, you're engaged. You're just step down from under this guy.
Yeah, I was about to say, you're engaged, aren't you?
Why would you care?
Don't scream at my new Ethiopian honey. Why don't you come up here?
Yesterday.
Come up here. We'll hang out for a while. I'll get you some nice things, rub some dirt on your head, get you a few pet flies.
You know what? And I think the other thing you guys need is a woman sitting there beside you guys. There's just way too much male in that studio.
We got Gavin for that.
Huh?
Nothing. I gotta go.
You're engaged. Dan.
What, Trey?
So many chicks say that. Y'all need a woman up there. No, we really don't.
We'd eat that bitch alive.
Yeah. I mean, unless we were having some type of sacrificial Friday.
No. There'd be no point in that.
If there's going to be a chick up here, we're going to have to do something with her.
Pinball Tuesdays.
No.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I think we cover most of the angle. Plus, I think part of the reason chicks listen to this show, it gives them an insight on what guys think, that your husband's not going to tell you, your boyfriend's not going to fess up to anything. You want to know the absolute truth, you'll come to me.
Well, so many chicks go, I've got a good wit. I could stand up to Russ. I can go toe-to-toe with him. No, you really can't.
Well, that's exactly the reason women get into arguments, is they think they got a valid point or they've got the upper hand in the situation, and they don't. Ever.
I'd give a chick 2 weeks before she killed herself live on the air.
I think Valerie tolerated me when she was doing mornings with me at the Eagle before she had her first fit. About a month.
That all?
But she went in the studio with you. I mean, you could shut her off for the most part.
Yeah, she'd be in the newsroom, and we just shut the mic off in there. And then Brad and I would torment her from the other room.
And then she'd come around and come in the door after you one time.
Yeah.
At least once.
Well, that's what deadbolts are for. And then I'm having a meeting with her off the air. I went, things are going to happen on the air. They're going to twist you. You can't just blow up. You can't be volatile. She stands up. I'm not going to listen to this. Point proven. You want to stay with the show, you're going to sit back down.
Did she?
Yeah.
Okay.
But then she had a few more outbursts. Who was it? Who was the GM at the time? Dennis Frawley. I'm going to go talk to Dennis. Fine.
How'd that work out for her?
They told her not to go over my head again.
I wish she had some of those shows where she did blow up.
I had audio once I gave to Bob McNeil. I know I've told this 100 times. I gave him the audio. Said, I love Valerie, and at certain times she can go with a bit, whether she's in on it or not. You'll think that we rehearsed for months. Mm-hmm. I said, the volatile aspect of it, I can't handle. Take this audio of Valerie having a fit, and if I ever decide to let her back on the show, play this. And then he lost it.
On the golf course.
I don't know where he lost it. All right. Anything before we get the news?
Yes. A couple things we covered yesterday. Hey, Russ, how can you guys laugh about the man who shot his wife through the house? That's a terrible tragedy. Somehow I don't think you would have thought it was so funny if the wife had shot the husband. Anytime something bad...
If anybody's drilling holes for cable and you're using a handgun, I don't care who gets at the mug. It's funny.
And just the sentence itself was shot through a house.
Yeah, in through the house. Anytime anything bad happens to a woman, you all laugh your asses off instead of caring about people's pain.
We laughed at the guy who was the TXU shut his power off.
Yeah.
And he decided to go stand in the metal bed of his truck with no shoes on, with a nice long pole. I'll show them. decides to flip I guess there's a breaker near the top of the pole. Catches one of the wires instead, fries in his truck, burns his legs off.
Laughed about Happy the Clown?
Yeah.
Happy the Clown was a good one.
That was a clown who burned to death in a mobile home with his dog named Dog. Isn't that right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
What are you holding down?
Well, I just thought this actually would be an example of a situation where it doesn't matter the gender, male or female. Here's a man we can all enjoy laughing at. A man who claims...
That's a very natural and smooth setup. Go ahead.
Okay. A man who claims that he was molested as a child was ordered to serve 20 years in prison yesterday for his own molestation-related activities.
Hang on. Let me ask. Is this the one with the thing we were talking about when I came in?
No, the other one.
Oh, I like the other one better. But you can read this one.
Okay. Gene Morrill of New Hampshire had previously pleaded guilty in Stafford Circuit Court to 20 charges stemming from his efforts to solicit 13-year-old boys over the internet.
I'm going to guess he did not have an attorney. Because this is something this excuse isn't something you'd float past your counsel.
No, defense attorney Terrence Patton cited his mental health issues in seeking leniency from the court.
And they do that.
They didn't do this.
Well, they do that anytime somebody's charged with any type of sexual assault, abuse, whatever. They go back and point out what happened to them in their childhood. Sure. So indirectly, it's not really my client's fault.
He's dealing with the trauma.
And if this really happened to this guy, it ain't his fault.
Exactly. Morrill reportedly told an investigator preparing his pre-sentence report that he had been sexually assaulted as a child by the legendary Bigfoot.
Oh, my big-headed beast. No more fisting.
And Morrill, of course, really believes that the assault happened.
Do you have the other one?
Yeah, just let me grab it real quick.
That one's my favorite.
I want to do one more of these real quick. Hey, Russ, you come across as Teflon Don on the radio. Nothing bad ever happens to you. Nope.
Shut up and let Dan read the story.
Okay.
A man who claimed to have been left speaking Australian after being raped by a wombat.
What is a wombat? Looks like something like a gopher, or it's a marsupial, right?
Yeah, imagine like an Australian gopher, I guess. Is a
guinea pig gopher. It looks something like that.
Yeah, but a little bit bigger, I think.
All right.
Anyway,
what's the matter, John?
And the guy ended up talking Australian. What?
That's what he claimed.
He was raped by a wombat.
You changed the way you talk.
I'd speak in tongues.
It's rape transference.
Yeah. See my botata. Ah!
Anyway, he was sentenced to 75 hours community service for his trouble. Arthur Ross Craddock, 48.
Why was he sentenced to anything? He was the one that was raped by the wombat.
Because he admitted in court to the charge of using a phone for a fictitious purpose after calling police with the message, "I've been raped by a wombat."
Now, eventually, he gets to the part of why he dropped the
Who dropped the charges?
The guy dropped... Well, the wombat wasn't in court, so obviously...
I understand.
The guy dropped the complaint against the wombat. Dan will tell you in a minute why.
So anyway, Sergeant Chris Stringer told the court that the afternoon of February 11th, Craddock called the police communications center threatening to smash the filth if they arrived at his home that night. When asked if he had an emergency, he said yes, saying, "I've been raped by a wombat." Sure. He called police again soon after, gave his full name, saying he wanted to withdraw the complaint because he said, "I'll retract the rape complaint from the wombat because he's pulled out." And apart from speaking Australian now, I'm pretty all right, you know. You get raped by a wombat and he goes to jail or gets community service.
Obviously, there was a little chivalry there because the wombat retracted before he blew on him.
That was nice of you, Mr. Wombat.
No, I don't have to worry about having any wombat babies. Was there any pre-ejaculate?
Might have been. I'll check.
Very good at burrowing. Do we have time to start news? Oh, hang on. Read the email you were holding.
You come across, Russ, as Teflon Don on the radio. Nothing bad ever seems to happen to you. No protests, no suspensions, nothing. But have you ever gotten in trouble and we just don't know about it?
Here?
I guess anywhere.
I get my ass chewed all the time at the Eagle. I just ignore it.
Well, yeah, but so nothing bad ever really happened, though. I mean, they yell at you, but nothing bad ever happened. No suspensions, no protests, no...
short of the crepe myrtle protest, nothing's ever happened here. I don't know what I get in trouble for.
You have pretty much carte blanche. You can do anything. You've taken a...
You know what surprises me out of Mark Davis, and he probably would prefer I didn't tell this to anybody, but that's tough titty.
All right.
You know how we got the different jocks to cut the liners back to the... Here, I'll play one of them. Here it is. Just a point of reference.
Okay. Hey, this is Hawkeye. Join the Dorsey Gang weekday mornings on the big 96.3 KSCS. Now back to the Russ Martin Show on Live 105.3.
All right. Playing those on the bumpers coming out of spots. Mark Davis cuts one. Throws out all this stuff on there. Hey, it's Mark Davis from WBAP, number one since 1994. Don't forget to read my column in the Dallas Morning News.
You can shout for it.
It leaves off the Live 105.3 part.
Okay.
I asked him about that. Well, I'm not really sure if I can get away with that. What's to get away with? Just throw it on there. Well, some program directors don't get it. Does yours? I don't want to ask. Well, what's to ask? What are they going to do to you? They're not going to fire a top-rated talk show host because you came on here, plugged your station.
I was going to say, we're not asking for anything in return. It's not like you're asking to go on his show.
No, I can't do it.
What's the downside?
I don't know. I didn't realize he was that big of a pussy.
Well, they've also had a management changeover recently. You never know that.
They're not going to do anything. You go back and you look at his ratings, and they're not going to pop him because he came on another station, got to plug his own.
I don't think they're going to pop him, but they could go to him. I know he loves coming on and talking to you. He really enjoys it. I've talked to him off the air about it. They could come to him and go, you can't call Russ anymore. And then that would really, I think that would bother him.
So why would he stop?
Again, I don't know. I don't have a clue. This one doesn't.
And this isn't a slam on Gavin. I'll make it David Henry.
Okay.
If David Henry said, I don't want any more jingles on this station promoting somebody else, I don't want to ever hear any other call letters on this station, I'm still going to do it.
Of course you are. Well, you're different. You are a different entity. Oh, you know
Not necessarily,
yes,
but
necessarily.
I know what's absurd, and I know what reality is. And reality is, they're not going to pop me for playing a KSCS jingle.
No, because this is a different show. That's funny.
Then they're not going to fire Mark Davis if he comes on here, plugs his own station, as he's done every time he was on, and one time says Live 105.3. Reality is, they're not going to zitz him for that.
They're not going to zitz him for it, but they may tell him to stop calling over here.
Hey, you keep calling over here. What's going to be the damage? He gets to plug his show every time he's on. We plugged his show even when he's not on.
Makes sense to me. It doesn't make sense to some program directors. You know this. You know how insane they get. It's a power struggle. I don't want him to do that.
All right, and at a certain point, you're going to have to tell him, I'm going to do what I want, as long as it doesn't damage the station. And coming on and having a conversation with us does absolutely nothing to WBAP but promote it.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you.
So they wouldn't want him to call. Why? What's the damage? What's the liability?
Absolutely is no damage whatsoever. I can't come up with a reason. He's coming on over here. We're promoting his station. People that are listening like you. If you apparently like him, maybe they'll flip over and listen to him from time to time.
It's buying radio that you can't buy. No other station is going to allow you to put their call letters on your airwaves. I will. In fact, I may start charging for it.
Most people actually listen.
I may start selling airtime to ESPN, take it, KZPS.
Most people actually listen to their bosses, and they're actually afraid of them.
Well, especially now, being that their 3 to 6 time slot is live WBAP.
All right.
Maybe they're a little more sensitive about it, about him being on a competitive show because of the change now. I'm throwing something.
Their afternoon show's always been on there when Mark's been on over here.
I know, but it's live now. And
what difference is live or tape delay? What's the difference?
If people were listening before, they're not going to call in, whereas they're listening now, they might call in. They could actually get
through. Do you understand what he said?
No. Sorry.
We don't understand. Try it again.
He never comes on.
No, don't help him.
Okay.
Try it again.
Their afternoon show on WBAP.
You want Chloe to help you?
No.
All right.
Is now live. It's not tape delay as it was for years.
Okay.
So maybe they're worried. They don't want people listening over here because now...
How would they know that Mark's on over here if they're listening over there?
Well, management does.
That still doesn't make any sense.
I just took a step away from knowing what you're saying.
Yeah.
I'm further off.
Try it again. I think you're almost there. You're dangerously close. Would you like me to help you with the hands in the air, that little ugly face on there?
Sure.
Well, keep talking and I'll throw it at you in a second.
Maybe they don't want anything.
Why is it Chuck gets more out of that than anybody? And all he can see is the back of my head.
It's just funny. We all know what it looks like.
It's just two hands in the air with a tongue hanging out.
And a big surprise face and you look on your face.
And that's funny.
It's hilarious. I've done it to you. You even laughed. Yours is funnier for some reason.
Try it again.
Here we go. Ready? And you lean forward when you do it.
Have you done it to yourself?
Chuck didn't seem to enjoy yours.
No, see, I told you, yours is funnier.
I'm missing the shtick.
Have you done it to yourself in a mirror yet?
No. I've done many things with a hand mirror. But making faces is one of them.
Maybe that's it. You're going to have to go to the bathroom and do it to yourself. And then you'll laugh for quite a while.
I'll do it during the break. We need a break here? Do you have something to add, Trey?
Nope.
Were you finished explaining the WBAP saga?
You vexed me.
I think you were awfully close to coming to a point.
I don't think so.
Okay. All right, we'll be back.
We'll be back to the Russ Martin Show. To the Russ Martin Show.
Hi, Gail.
Hi.
What do we got?
WGN, the Superstation. A wreck in the High 5. It's on the eastbound 635 ramp to 75 Central, the HOV lane. In the HOV lane, in the middle of all that heavy traffic. It's not the one over on the right. It's the one that picks up off the left. On northbound 35 South RL Thornton before Colorado, the two right lanes are closed by a wreck. You're backed up to the Big Giraffe at Marsalis. Northbound 35 in Fort Worth at 121, a crash on the shoulder. It's heavy from I-30. On eastbound I-30, West Freeway at Forest Park Boulevard, there's a wreck in the right lane. That's slow from Montgomery. And in Arlington on southbound 360 before Lamar, there's an accident that's on the right shoulder. I'm Gail Lightfoot on the Russ Martin Show.
Thanks, Gail. All right, around midnight, it should be about 67. That'll be the high for the day tomorrow as the temperatures drop down into 63, and then some rain for Saturday. 80 now at Live 105.3.
What was the Hillary audio?
Oh, cut number 31. First is the Hillary audio talking about how she went to, Bosnia. Bullets flying, terrible approach, almost died.
Right, we know that one.
And then it's immediately edited up with the man that was flying that airplane that day and what really happened.
Well, CBS News came out and said what happened.
It's just funny to hear the pilot go,
And we came in a evasive maneuver. There was no greeting ceremony, and we basically were told to run to our cars. Now, that is what happened.
No evasive maneuver, okay? I tell you, I will give it to the commander of Air Base Eagle. He had that place. You know, not only weren't there bullets flying around, there wasn't a bumblebee flying around.
Well, and that's the slam just for her own personal gain, to make it sound like, here are the sacrifices I've made for this country.
I've got in harm's way for you.
She slams the Secret Service, the U.S. government, that obviously they don't have the intelligence to go in and make sure an area, in fact, I think even Trey brought this up, an area is secure before they fly the First Lady in there.
That's what this guy goes on to say. The place was locked down.
Now, that is what happened.
No evasive maneuver.
She even wraps it up there at the end, and that's what happened.
The best of my recollection.
Then she comes back later and decides, I misspoke. In fact, there was a chick on CNN defending Hillary. She's just gone through a barrage of press conference after press conference interview. It's all part of the campaigning thing. She's human. That excuse pisses me off.
Yeah, I'm afraid so. If you're saying, if in any time in my life I got out of an airplane that was being shot at and it had run for my car, that's one I'd remember specifically.
All right, and if you misspoke and it wasn't really Bosnia, is that what she claimed?
Yeah.
Wherever. Or where was it? Possibly going to your offices there in New York? That would make more sense.
Yes.
And here's the other thing, is when the First Lady travels somewhere, there's press corps with her. So if there had been bullets ablazing...
That's why well, you're right, it would have been in the news. And that's why CBS came back, I think it was CBS, came back later and went, she went someplace without us.
Evasive maneuver. There was no greeting ceremony, and we basically were told to run to our cars. Now, that is what happened.
No evasive maneuver, okay? I tell you, I will...
Now, sometimes when you're leaving for the day, that'll happen at the state fair. But I don't think it happened in this instance.
Not in a military base.
There was no greeting ceremony, and we basically were told to run to our cars. Now, that is what happened.
No evasive maneuver, okay? I tell you, I will give it to the commander of Air Base Eagle.
Who was the pilot talking to?
That is, he's on just a radio talk show, didn't say who.
Somebody's giggling in the back.
Now, that is what happened.
No evasive maneuver, okay? I tell you, I will give it to the commander of Air Base Eagle. He had that place, not only weren't there bullets flying around, there wasn't a bumblebee flying around. He had that place locked up tight. He had, it was really impressive. He had tanks pointing all the way around the perimeter. He had ground troops every place. He had helicopters in the air, make sure that nobody could, for any ground movement. And we did the same approach we did every time. And it was a steep approach, but that's because there were hills around it. But it was just what we do every time. I mean, every landing into there was the same way. And I'll be honest with you, I mean, if there had been sniper fire going on, first of all, we wouldn't have landed, okay? That's number one. Number two, we wouldn't have let her outside the plane. We had contingencies for just in case something like that. We would have gone around and gone back or gone someplace. But the fact that we landed tells you that there's nothing going to happen.
So that's just complete BS.
I'd like to know how she's going to spin it.
I think she's just going to do what you just said. You know what? I've been a lot of places.
It wasn't Hillary. That excuse works for me. Yeah, I say a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But not if you're going to run for president.
No, not if you're going to. And again, as you said, I don't think she saw this as the slap in the face of the military as well as the Secret Service that it is.
But she knew, and Trey's right, the press corps is always going to travel with them. If the First Lady was under fire and had to run for her life, we would have seen that. How do we miss that on the news?
Top of the news. You'd been front page.
I tell you, she spins it is, well, you know what? They prepare you for all these things, and somehow I just got it in my mind that that's what happened, and that's how we ran out of the plane and into a car.
I've been lying about it for so long, I forgot that I made it up.
Okay.
Because that's really what that turns into. There's no other way to address this. And if they don't beat her ass every day that she goes out for any type of press junket,
on this,
then we deserve whatever we get. Yeah, you don't let this one go.
I think she's just going to play it off. You guys, just relax. Let's talk about the issues today. Let's talk about the future. Let's not talk about the past.
Listen, lady, you're the one that brought this up.
I know, and I told you
we didn't ask about it. You what?
I misspoke. Let it go. I'm here for change.
To misspeak in a situation like this?
Yes.
We were actually in Lubbock. That's misspeaking. Instead of Bosnia, or wherever it happened to be. Mm-hmm. Maybe you miss a few of the details. That's being misspoken. You made the whole thing up. You lied. Say you lied, and we'll let you be president.
I didn't lie.
Did that happen?
Somewhere.
All right. Let me ask you something. That happened to you.
Oh, okay, it didn't. Can we talk about something else?
No.
I know, but you were in the press corps. That's all you'd ever bring up. I have the same question I had yesterday.
Where were you? If you misspoke, obviously, you just meant the wrong location.
You have a memory of it.
Where were you?
When the military completely failed you.
You claimed that this happened. Where were you? Where did this happen? I'm going to stand here and I'm going to stare at you until I get me a nice little answer. Where did it happen?
It was one of them B countries. I'm not sure.
Yeah, she's a Clinton. They'll spin out of it.
That ain't what she is.
All right.
Hey,
but you could work it into that. What, Dan?
I think it was JD.
Oh,
I wouldn't say anything.
Hey, look at Bill. When he was running for president, I mean, Jennifer Flowers, Paula Jones. And he just shut it off. These are people trying to detract me. These are the people who don't want to see change. This doesn't matter.
I don't care
I am
about
bringing
any
change.
I don't care about any extramarital affairs that he had. Stop screwing the beasts. Chicks that even after thousands of dollars of free plastic or plastic surgery, they still look like the beast.
And he chose not just one, but all the ones we know of.
Ugly, fat, horrid, hairy.
Yes.
Oh, I saw a list.
I would pay cash for somebody just to show me the browser on his internet. What, Trey?
I saw a list.
I can't fathom what kind of porn he looks at. What?
There's a list of the women he has allegedly screwed.
I found a website today that was some young kid banging an old lady midget.
Why and how? Dear God. You don't get there by accident. Don't even say you did.
Yeah, I did.
No, you didn't. You were on some website.
You get an
clicked
entire
on a picture.
I saw it. I saw the thumbnail. I went, not a chance. I clicked on it, and it was some young kid banging this midget old woman.
Send me that link.
Why?
Just because I want to see what else is on that particular browser.
This was an entire page of thumbnails, and it's just a plethora of stuff. So as you're scrolling down, you're looking for something that interests you. You see something freaky, and you click on it.
Freaky things people are into.
Well, you got the teenage chicks banging the old fat guys. It's the same thing.
Yeah, I've seen that one
except
too.
they were full size. What were you going to say, Tom?
Oh, there's just a list of the women he's allegedly banged, and there's some ugly women on there.
Worse than the ones we know about?
Yeah. I'll go try to find it if you want during the break. Now, it's alleged.
What kind of hideous fetish is that?
And you know what? I'd say it's power, because I think guys that bang ugly or fat chicks, it's you're not going to leave me, it's power. He had all the power in the world. He could done anybody.
Maybe he thought the fat ugly ones wouldn't drop dime on him. And really, I don't think any of them did. The big catalyst to this wasn't it Jennifer Flower? Oh, no, it was the Trip.
Yeah.
John Goodman.
The dress.
I think that was the biggest catalyst, wasn't it?
Yeah, she's the one who came forward and told everybody.
But we also knew he was doing it when he was governor. How do we know about that?
That's still allegedly.
Okay. Any more audio here from the start?
Not from that one.
Trey, what's a disc you handed me?
Recap of end of show yesterday.
With what?
With the cannon going off and Chloe running. And
Oh, yeah, I didn't get a chance to hear that.
I did, close.
Well, I was standing in the hall when the cannon went off.
Could you, because obviously I was firing it, could you feel it come down the hall?
I did, yes. It felt like
no, because actually I saw, because I told you to aim the barrel out the door, I saw that it was shooting back up the hallway. So after I was done shooting at Chloe, I just dodged into the studio.
Oh.
You feel it, Jim?
Absolutely. It's like somebody slaps you in the side of the face.
It's amazing you get that kind of punch out of a little 12-foot cannon.
Because I didn't know that was going to happen until the very last second. I looked down and went, oh, there's the cannon. This is going to be BAM!
You didn't know we were doing that?
You didn't tell me.
Oh. Well, Chloe was blindfolded. I thought that would add to the bit.
Certainly did for me.
Where did you run to when you left yesterday?
The back fence.
And then Clay, what's your name?
Trey.
This guy said you drove off.
Yeah, I just let us into the show. I just literally, another one of those moments to where
well, I'm the one that had to clean the studio up.
Stopped. Yeah, well, I'm sorry to stay. I was a little startled.
Well, that's all right. You'll be spinning the wheel later. Only one cut on this?
Yeah.
Oh, wait! You're making me nervous. That's not going to pop that can of cheese whiz. Put that other can of Boone's Farm on there. What is that? What was I shooting at?
Cheese whiz.
Those bottles of Boone's Farm just explode.
I never had any idea they'd explode like that. I got cut with glass and everything else.
Well, and he kept Chloe, because it was blindfolded, kept shaking back and forth.
Yeah.
Then I was worried I was actually going to hit him in the forehead.
It's shuffling.
And then you had that kind of pressure, and I don't want that. You're making me nervous. That's not going to pop that can of cheese whiz. Put that other can of Boone's Farm on there.
Okay. Oh. Hold on. All right. It's on his head. It's on his head.
Stop moving. Don't move, Chloe.
He's covered. He's covered in it. What's he got on me?
All right, hold that symbol up. Hold the symbol over his head.
Okay, hang on a sec. Symbol.
What's the symbol for?
Up on the head. Hold on. Shut up. Good deal. I'm trying. Give me a second to balance it.
Just hold it over his head.
All right, go ahead. It fell off.
One more.
I don't have a change of
Hold
clothes.
still.
I gotta work tonight.
Last,
What do you want?
put that glass bowl in his head.
All right. Glass bowl.
Oh,
Glass bowl.
help me.
No, it's not. Hold. Just relax, man.
Set.
It's set. If he doesn't move.
Hold it.
Okay, just Jesus.
I don't think anybody knew we were going to do that, but just did you and me, Trey?
Yeah.
The very last second I saw it. Too late to do anything.
Fast forward to that part again.
I do love how, though, you hear the ting, and then what sounds like JD's hand cannon from his movie go off in the background.
Hold it over his head.
All right, go ahead. It fell off.
One more.
I don't have a change of
Hold
clothes.
still.
I gotta work tonight.
Where'd you have to work last night?
A place called The Point. Just a DJ gig.
What'd you change into?
When I got there, I got one of their shirts.
Yeah.
How did you get the smell off?
What do you want?
Put that glass
Took a disco
All
bath.
right. Glass bowl.
Oh,
Glass bowl.
help me.
No, it's not. Hold. Just relax, man.
Set.
It's set. If he doesn't move.
Hold it.
Okay, just Jesus.
When he turned, he started to run. He was literally in the wine that is spilled everywhere, and he was running in place like a cartoon.
He runs past me, and it's like that scene from Home Alone where Macaulay Culkin's running around the house screaming.
Hands.
What do you want?
Put that glass bowl in his head.
All right. Glass bowl.
Oh,
Glass bowl.
help me.
No, it's not. Hold. Just relax, man.
Set.
It's set. If he doesn't move.
Hold it.
Okay, just Jesus.
I like the part where he just vanishes off into the parking lot.
One of the part-timers stopped me and go, you okay? You okay? I didn't even speak to him.
Dude, you okay?
I think that was enough.
All right. We have time for news?
4 minutes.
All right. Where'd you leave off, Dan?
Actually, we never started.
Oh, all right. Well, then we'll start again. 5:22. Dan O'Malley's here with news.
Thank you, Russ. Thursday, March 27, 2008. Birthdays today. Mariah Carey turns 39. Quentin Tarantino is 45. Tony Banks from Genesis is 58. Dallas Police Chief David Kunkel has fired 2 veteran patrol officers after a year-long investigation into ticket writing and enforcement. The chief says they found a pattern of requiring people to sign blank tickets, entering false information on tickets and multiple tickets for the same offense. 2 officers were suspended for related activity. One Sergeant Walter Clifton for 5 days and Senior Corporal Timothy Stecker suspended for 10 days. Chief Kunkel says the complaint about this pattern of inappropriate enforcement came actually from inside the department. So he says that shows the department cleans its own house.
I don't understand why 2 were fired, 2 were suspended, if they're all doing the same thing.
That's the part I didn't
read it again. Maybe I missed part of it.
Fired 2 veteran patrol officers after a year-long investigation into ticket writing and enforcement. They found the pattern that they had used, and 2 officers were suspended for related activity. So maybe the 2 officers that were suspended.
Part of the cover-up?
I don't know if a cover-up, but maybe what they were doing wasn't as egregious as the guys that were fired.
So these guys were just sitting around in their squad cars writing tickets, not to people in general, making up fake names, throwing those into the database, And if it just happened to match somebody's real name, all of a sudden you got a warrant for your ass. You got no clue why.
I guess that's how they caught him.
And that may only be one way, because like it said here, they were forcing people to sign blank tickets. It's like, here, sign this, and then going back and writing in some made-up offense.
Some of them were homeless people. They were just, do this or we'll go down to jail. Your call.
Wow.
I don't know.
What difference is that going to make to a homeless person? They're going to be able to serve them a warrant anyway.
Right. That's probably why they went and signed it. What? I don't see what this does for the cop.
The only thing I can think of is that they're just...
You're jacking around. Right. You don't want to go to do anything. You don't want to deal with any other ancillary paperwork. You just want to write tickets. Looks like you're doing something. If you don't turn anything in, they're going to ask, what'd you do today?
Right.
You were on patrol and didn't see anything? You sit there at the end of the day, you write all your tickets after jacking around. You turn them in.
I guess. I just wondered if it seemed like there'd be radio chatter back and forth. I'm out on a call. I'm not on a call. I've been assigned a call.
That depends on what the violations were.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
A teacher has filed a complaint with police, this out of New Braunfels, alleging a middle school principal threatened to kill a group of science teachers if their students didn't improve their standardized test scores. Anita White, who taught at New Braunfels Middle School for 18 years before being transferred this month to the district's Learning Center, said Principal John Burks made the threat in a January 21st meeting with 8th grade teachers. She says, he said if the tax scores were not as expected, he would kill the teachers. He said, I will kill you all and kill myself. We walked out of the meeting, she said, just totally dumbfounded because it wasn't a joke. New Braunfels police spokesman Mike Pinshorn said the incident was filed as a verbal assault, but is actually being investigated as a possible terroristic threat.
Well, that's a lot better incentive to say that, some of you guys are going to be suspended. This going in your personal file.
You can't say you're going to kill people.
I got no time for the paperwork. You don't get the grade scores up. And if we have any problem with accreditation, I'm going to kill y'all.
Hey, he's equal opportunities. He said he'd kill himself, too.
Yeah.
You can't do that in a room full of people that don't. Now, you can do it in here. but most places will have a problem with you saying, I'm going to kill a room full of teachers.
If you had a meeting and grade scores were an issue and you said, we need to work harder, if you got to spend one-on-one time with the students, maybe stay after class, that's what it takes. What do you think the mindset's going to be if you walk out of a meeting like that? I'll do what I can, but these kids are idiots. You don't get these credit scores up, I'm not coming in here with a nice Poulin chainsaw.
No, especially on a school campus. This day and age, I don't think you threaten to kill anybody ever. Even if he was joking and they didn't get it.
I would at least given it 6 months before you filed charges. See if it worked.
No. If he's a crazy man, 6 months might be too long. A month might be too long.
Hold on a second. What is line one?
He says he's the guy that wrote that original story about the cops you just read.
Oh. Do you guys still have it?
Yeah.
Is it Trey?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead. Who do you work for?
No, I just, if you had any other questions, the reason the cops were doing that is they'd get activity points for every little ticket that they wrote. So they'd write these little penny ante tickets that kind of flew under the radar, and it made it look like they were busy.
What do you do with the points that you accumulate?
They keep it kind of vague because they want to avoid anything that looks like a quota system.
Right.
But I think the average cop gets between 10 and 12 points a night.
So I'm going to guess it's the assumption I made earlier. You're not really getting any money out of this. You just got to show that you were doing something while you were on patrol.
Absolutely. And it's a heck of a lot safer to write tickets to some homeless guy for pedestrian in the roadway than, busting somebody for something serious.
How did you come across this story?
We started talking to a girl who was
Who do you work for?
D Magazine.
All right, go ahead.
We started talking to a girl who was a rookie officer who had gotten canned during her probationary period because she had accidentally come across what they were doing and or accidentally outed their activities to another officer. And so they just kind of try to shuffle her off and to avoid any problems.
Do you have any clue why some of the officers were only suspended?
I think that Stecker didn't write anywhere near the number of tickets that Sholin and Nelson did. And Clifton was suspended. He was their supervisor, and he sort of gave him a pass on writing these kind of tickets. The deal was they would have the tickets signed at large, which the average cop in his career might write 5 of those because they didn't have the person to sign it. they had something like a quarter of all their tickets over a 2-year period were signed at large.
Meaning no signature from the person that got the ticket.
Yes, sir.
I don't understand why you would just suspend the other cops. Because even if you just write one, that's enough for me to question anything else that you've been doing, and it's not worth my time or resources to go back and dig through everything that you've done to see what else you were up to.
I'm with you, brother.
That surprises me about the great spinach slinger.
Stop it.
Thanks, Greg.
Will you stop with that?
Chief Kunkel's not talking to me regardless. It doesn't...
If you quit calling him a spinach slinger, possibly he would get over it and call you. Y'all were buddies for a while. You hung out. He's been to your house privately for dinner. You've been out bowling with you.
He knows that I give everybody grief.
I know, but as a police
And I've
chief,
also stood up for him for anything that he's done in the past.
He knows that. I'm sure he appreciates it. But there's a
And he also doesn't tolerate anything as far as anything going on in the police department.
That's
about
very impressive. You're right.
Once or twice a year, he's popping cops. I think somebody got fired from the Southeast substation for stealing paper towels. He popped them. I think you got it coming.
You do it up here?
They want me to have it.
No, they don't.
Well, I think they were stealing other supplies. But up here, they want me to have it. I can't use the paper towels, and I'm not using the toilet paper up here because I'm not sitting on one of those commodes.
That cop got fired for doing just what you do and would justify.
Obviously, they were doing something else. Otherwise, Slinger wouldn't have got rid of him.
Calling him Slinger. Please, just quit that.
Chief Slinger.
Oh, jeez.
He knows I'm jacking around.
I know, but
and if that's really why he's not talking to me, then I can't do anything about it.
There's a level of honor to his job. And
anytime we've had him on the show, I always call him Chief Kunkel.
Yes, you do.
You ever hear me call him David?
No.
All right. You work hard enough to be chief of police for any department, I'm going to call you chief.
You told the mayor not to sit across from him at lunch because he'd spit on him.
Sound advice.
Yeah. And they would keep Chief Kunkel from the embarrassment of slinging spinach on the new mayor.
Can't imagine why he didn't call.
I would think there'd be a thank you in there someplace.
Yeah, at least from Leopard.
Oh, I'm sure.
Hey, break here. Yeah. We'll be back.
We'll be back to the Russ Martin Show. To the Russ Martin Show.
All right, Dan, what else you got?
Having a big belly in your 40s can boost your risk of getting Alzheimer's disease or other dementia decades later, according to a new study.
What? How would you care?
If I don't get this sucked out, I'm going to get the dementia.
Oh, please. They're talking about people with bellies.
That's what this is.
It's not a belly. That's not even fat. That's skin. Oh, quit poaching it out. Everybody can pooch.
Look at that.
That's skin. That's not fat. You don't have any fat. Where would fat come from? It doesn't come from your diet. You work out all the time.
It's going to turn from all the alcohol that I take in. The body converts it to sugar, and that turns into fat.
No.
Now I got to get the dementia.
I don't think you're going to get the dementia. You have a lot of other things going for you, but dementia's not coming your way.
Be great for content.
Yeah, actually kind of would.
Oh, God. You talk about being ADD now in your 40s. Imagine dementia. You'd be off the charts.
What exactly do you get with the dementia?
Exactly what it sounds like.
I think you lose almost complete touch with reality, don't you?
It's close to that. It's like...
So it's a nice word for crazy?
Yeah, it's old and crazy equals dementia. It's basically Alzheimer's.
Hang on. I bet Trey knows somebody that's had it, because you can throw out almost any disease, and he's got it handled. You have somebody with dementia?
Yeah, my grandmother. No, she got an Alzheimer's, too. It's a fine line between Alzheimer's and dementia.
What does she do when she's dementiating?
Well, she did. She's dead.
How long ago did she die?
97.
You over it?
Yeah.
Tell the story.
It started off, short-term memory.
You're so compassionate.
Little things. she'd go get herself a glass of wine, bring it back, and then go get herself a glass of wine, bring it back, and then all of a sudden...
Well, that's an alcoholic.
Leaving the
If you
stove
come back
on.
in the room with a glass of wine and it's got a hunk of in it, then that's dementia. I got some wine and went to the bathroom. Saved a trip.
I've heard of, people... One person, his father hated this tree, the next door neighbor's tree, for years. He had Alzheimer's, and then one day he gets a call and said, sir, you need to come now. Your father is taking his chainsaw and is cutting down the big oak tree in your next door neighbor's yard.
Well, that's pissed off old man.
No, he didn't know where he was. I mean, he thought he was
He knew he was doing something. He's got a chainsaw, and he's at a tree that knows he doesn't like.
But
I thought you were going to say your grandma was in it.
But he thought it was like 1955. Just lose touch of reality, memory, who people are, what they meant. A lot of times you'll have really good long-term memory. You'll remember stuff crisply from 50 years ago.
But if somebody came by that day...
You're not going to remember.
I got a friend that's a judge in Fort Worth. His mom was in a nursing home and had dementia or Alzheimer's, whatever. He'd go and he'd spend hours there in the morning. She'd call him in the afternoon. Are you ever coming by?
Oh. Then you're like...
I was just there.
What's the point?
And she'd accept that. So what I told him to start doing is days you don't go by and she calls, tell her the same thing.
Only you would do that, try to trick a dementia patient.
Obviously, there's no trick to it.
There's no payoff, you're right.
If she bought it every time he really was there, tell her you were there. You were there all day.
Yeah, I watched my mom go through a little bit of that in the nursing home. It was really awkward. She'd be suddenly in the 50s. In her mind. And there were the ladies from...
What would she say? How would you know she was in the 50s?
She was talking to people that were dead, and she was talking to her girls at her garden club. The women... And
she was talking out into space.
She'd just look over toward the bathroom and go, well, Betty, now we did those flowers last week. Next week we're going to do the pottery. Who are you talking to? And she knew it. And then now I'm not there. And whoever the garden club...
So she won't... You're standing there and she won't acknowledge
we were just talking 30 seconds before. And then the creepy part is when she started seeing my dead granddad and my dead uncle. And I went, okay, we're about to go. But she actually hung on for another...
You don't really know that she had dementia. I don't throw this out to be cute. Maybe she saw dead people.
She never had before.
Ryan Hotline's ringing.
And she wasn't seeing live people.
Sorry to distract you. Got one?
She wasn't seeing...
Ryan, the hotline's still ringing. Thank you.
She wasn't seeing the live people. That's the weird part. So I was standing right there, and then I wasn't there to her. And she was doing stuff with her hands. She was, in her mind, building something in garden club.
Okay. What are you looking at, Dan?
I'm just trying to see if I can figure out the main difference between Alzheimer's and dementia.
I don't really care.
You've got no belly, by the way. The belly they're talking about, you see these guys in the mall. For some reason, everything's normal on them except right where the rib cage kicks in. It goes straight out and down and back.
I wonder why it would store in that area. Because you have some chicks, all the crap goes to their hips. And I don't mean sort of.
No.
I mean, it's a summer squash.
Right below the belt, it just goes...
Who was on the hotline?
That was Gail.
What'd she want?
She was on the air when I called her. She said to call her later if you were in the middle of something.
Do we not do traffic?
No. Not at all.
Well, there's the void. No, that's all right. I don't need it. Go ahead, Dan.
Anyway, he goes on to say, it's not just about your weight. While previous research has found evidence that obesity in middle age raises the chances of developing dementia later, the new work found a separate risk from storing a lot of fat in the abdomen. Even people who weren't overweight were susceptible. That abdominal fat, sometimes described as making people apple-shaped rather than pear-shaped, has already been linked to higher risk of developing diabetes, stroke, and, of course, heart disease.
Okay.
The Florida branch of the NAACP says a bill that would ban students from wearing their pants too low could lead to more legal trouble for black males. The bill calls for no criminal sanctions, but it would prohibit students from wearing pants low so that they expose their undergarments. Violators would receive a warning for a first offense, and suspensions from school would be issued for each subsequent infraction. NAACP President Adora Obi-Nwizi called it a clearly discriminatory bill.
How?
Because he feels that the main people that sag are black males.
Well, obviously, something predominant in the black community, but you got a bunch of idiot white kids doing it too. And if you can show just a few white kids, Hispanic or anybody else, then the discrimination is gone. And if you call it discrimination, you're making it sound like that's all black people do is run around with their pants hanging down.
Actually,
if I had business like that, I'd do it.
Actually, I think if we all had business like that, we wouldn't bother with the pants.
No.
Yes, we would.
No, I wouldn't.
You walk around.
I'd run around all day, even at night, with a little solar light so people could see it.
As entertaining as that would be, I think that would be slightly against the law.
All right.
Funny, though.
No, but I actually think that, if they have a problem with it already, they know that some white kids do it. They know that some Hispanic kids do it. But they see them as the majority of it.
Does it say something about school, though?
Yeah.
Well, if it's school, we can tell you how to dress. Do whatever you want to in the mall.
But they'll still say it's discriminating because even though it's in school,
nobody
it's
in
mainly
school.
the black kids that do
All right,
it.
I missed that part of the story. Yeah, it's part of the dress code?
Yes.
All right, yeah, it's not discriminatory. The school district can throw out anything they want. They can make a standard dress code. You got to dress like you do in Catholic school, and that eliminates all the complaining. You got a blue pair of slacks, you got a white shirt, black shoes. You're done.
This is how it's supposed to be worn, period. And if you don't like it, you don't have to go to this school.
Well, in this scenario, though, it would be the entire state of Florida. So that's where that comes in. It's not like, well, I really want
all
my
right, so it's
kid to
not
decide.
only on campus. Are you saying only campuses throughout the state of Florida?
Right.
Okay.
Schools in
Well, there's
Florida.
a difference between on campus and the entire state of Florida.
Right.
What?
All I'm saying, it's a state law for
all schools.
Right.
All right, you just said a state law. I got it.
Disgraced former governor Elliot Spitzer has been identified as a long-standing client of a second high-priced call girl ring. The ex-governor regularly patronized Wicked Models, the Manhattan-based operation.
What's a Wicked Model?
That's just the name
The
of it.
name of the place.
Oh, all right.
The Manhattan.
Is that based up north?
Yeah, it's Manhattan-based.
That seems to be terminology that people from that part of the country, it's like L.A. That was really the first time I had heard Wicked when we were spending time together.
It's in a New England vernacular.
Yeah.
Everything was wicked something.
Yeah. You guys heard her use that on the air.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I've heard Gavin use it.
Have you?
Yeah.
Okay. Obviously, it's indigenous. She used it in the bedroom.
What was wicked in the bedroom?
If it was in the bedroom, it was wicked.
Was it? My wicked. That was F my nasty.
F my nasty C.
God.
Lady.
Marketing genius.
Obviously, you skipped a lot of classes as far as dressing something up for sale. Sitting on top, we're almost to the end, and it's just the same thing over and over. Oh, I nasty. Nasty, no. I never had sex with anything that's got nasty in front of it. Nasty in a noun is a no.
Maybe she'd used it in some movie. And
then I started laughing at her, and she got pissed off at that.
You guys had some very odd moments in bed.
Well, and then we got past that, and now she's having an orgasm, screaming, "Free the ducks." And I already pissed her off when I laughed at her with the F my nasty C.
Uh-huh.
That she's screaming, she's rocking back and forth. Oh, free the ducks. Obviously, it's another Boston thing.
I guess so.
I never asked Gavin. Gavin, you got any clue what that means, free the ducks?
No, we never said that.
What do you say when you're having an orgasm?
Oh, wicked pissa. That means very good. If she's saying wicked in the bedroom, that is a compliment to you.
And I've never heard anybody. Have you heard anybody else in the South use wicked since you've been down here?
No, it's a New England term basically. New England, New York.
Any other words down here that you hear a lot that you never heard up north?
Yes. Yeah, the N word.
Nobody use that. Even black people didn't use that up north.
No, not really. No.
I didn't realize that would be a regional thing.
That's not regional. A lot of the rat people are from New York and the Northeast.
I mean, it's used, but it's definitely not as common. Oh, my God. No.
They ever put wicked with that, the N-word?
No.
Okay. Well, it seems like that would be a compliment. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm glad that's been cleared up.
That is a very commonly...
All right, thank you, but we're done with you.
So anyway, Wicked Models, according to financial documents and other evidence unearthed in a year-long prostitution investigation. At the center of the new ring is Kristen Billy Davis, a busty blonde. She has a reputation for hard partying, shameless self-promotion, and a rumored 10,000 name-long client list.
I don't even know why this continues to be news. You already know that he was involved in a prostitution ring. He's meeting chicks in Washington. obviously we didn't catch him his first go round, so why is it surprising that there are more people on the list?
I don't think that it's surprising. I just think that since it's out there now, everyone's just digging.
It's not going to change anything. He's already lost his job. His marriage, I don't know what's going to happen with his marriage. She was the one that didn't want him to resign as governor.
Yeah. I just think it's at this point, it's basically kicking someone when they're down or
running up to score.
Yeah.
Well, and this chick is, as it says here, shameless self-promoter. She's probably going, I know something about him. What the hell? Everybody else is.
Yeah, she could have concocted the whole thing. Who's going to believe that he didn't?
Oh, absolutely.
You could have a bunch of naked midget whores come running up. He did us all at once.
Any story?
How are you going to deny that?
Yeah, any story that could come out now. That's sort of like you at the topless bar that time with Letty. No one's going to believe you didn't molest the...
I didn't.
Nobody's going to believe it.
Sound bites.
Well, no one's going to believe that you did not do that. That was your biggest fear.
You're leaving out that it was a setup by Ludwig.
Oh, yeah, that part too. It was a setup by Ludwig. You're a fool.
An imprisoned father went to his dying daughter's bedside Wednesday. A visit federal authorities...
They let him out?
Yep.
Yeah.
Only after being deluged with letters and phone calls from across the nation. J.C. Yeager, who is 10, has terminal brain cancer. Her family has been pleading with federal prison officials in Yankton, South Dakota, to allow her father, Jason, to see his daughter before she dies. And on Wednesday afternoon, prison guards drove him to a Lincoln hospice, where he spent several hours at her bedside. No one else was allowed in the room except Jason, J.C., and the escorts. He's scheduled to be released to a halfway house in August.
I feel bad that the little girl died. But he was also in prison for a reason. And when you're in prison, they don't let you come and go.
Well, we heard from some...
They let me come and go when I was locked up in Tarrant County.
Did you ever ask?
I could have gone anywhere, any place. I couldn't get any traction.
Why?
Floors.
Oh, there were floors. Just say it once. There were floors in the Tarrant County jail.
There were where the cops were standing.
No, there were in the prisons. What happens if you fall off the bars that you were hanging on to? Where do you go?
I don't know. I didn't let go.
You didn't fall for it. They tried to get you to let go. They're trying to be tricky, right?
Well, you hang on to the bars, there ain't no floor. One of those smart-ass cops walk by, wave. You go, hey, what's going on?
Gone.
That's what happened to the Chinese guy.
I know. It's hanging onto your pants.
His legs.
Legs. I see.
Finally kicked him off.
For many couples,
I think he's dead.
Well, has he ever been heard from again?
No, we didn't stay in touch. He signed my annual before he let go.
For many couples, spats are a necessary evil, something to endure or avoid for the sake of the kids. But new research at the University of Michigan shows that hashing out marital disagreements is actually good for your health. It's squelching anger, especially when you feel you've been wronged, that's dangerous. A study published in January followed 192 married couples from 1971 to 1988 and found that those who kept their anger in were unfairly attacked. Unfairly attacked and did not live as long as those who expressed their anger. This, according to the study's lead author, Ernest Harburg.
Do I need any more validation with information that I've thrown out?
No. But the fact is, it also says it's healthy for the woman to also argue back.
Doesn't say that.
I believe.
It actually says we can add express anger constructively to that list. That's what the doctor says.
Read that part again.
We need to add...
Oh, constructive criticism?
Right. Express anger constructively, not constructive criticism.
If you're mad, none of it's going to be constructive.
I think what he's saying is if you're angry and you hold it in and then it eventually blows up really obviously
I got
ugly.
it. And that sounds like something Dr. Thornton would schmook on me. You have a problem. You're mad about it. But you want to communicate it in a fashion where she's going to be receptive. Otherwise, she's going to shut down. She's not going to hear you. Oh, she's going to hear me.
Well, she may not. She'll hear you, but she won't absorb it.
Well, sometimes you got to move shit in by dragging them across the linoleum floor.
No, you're not going to do that either. But yeah, you yell and people shut down. You scream and people go, they get in defensive mode. That's not as he would say, the good doctor, that's not an open relationship. That's not a friend. I can tell you this really bothers me, as opposed to, you're an idiot.
It's not constant. You have conversations where information flows back and forth. It's the arguments to where sometimes you got to take control, because if you don't, those arguments will last for hours. And I'm past that.
I'm here. But what if you're wrong?
What if you're wrong?
Sit down. If I'm 45 minutes into an argument, and I don't do this anymore, 45 minutes into an argument, and she finally gives in, all right, that's not what I said, but here's what I meant. So you just wasted 45 minutes back and forth.
All been there.
And you know, when we started, you were already wrong. So now that you've admitted that you said it, we got to start all over again.
On what you actually said. On what you meant.
And I don't even... And that's because you're allowing them to talk back and forth.
Well, yeah.
That's where the 45 minutes went.
You don't know any better in the early stages of your life. You think arguments are meant to be going both ways. You've learned. It's a one-way path.
And it's actually, according to this, women in particular may put their health at risk by holding back during arguments with their spouse. Women who self-silenced during conflict with their spouse compared with women who had not had 4 times the risk of dying.
See?
What?
It's not healthy for her just to sit and get yelled at.
Blog. You're looking for a place to vent?
How about with you, her husband?
I'll read it.
Actually,
but that's what it's talking about. They're just looking for a place to vent. Blog.
Hang on, JD, because I hate to say this, but Russ is onto something.
Oh, Jesus.
They actually used an example of a woman who took part of this study. My blog has become my therapy.
Oh, God.
Now, give me $150.
No.
I'm tired of counseling you for free.
No cash for you.
Your mama, give me $150.
No. God, their blog. The blog's not the same as talking to your loved one.
Oh, all right. So you want to buy the rest of the story, but when it gets to the blog, then that doesn't make any sense.
Yes.
Okay, well, let's see what else she says, see what you think, JD. She says, when I have issues, I'll write a blog post and my husband will read it at work. Then he'll come home and we'll talk about the problem and solve it. If we have issues, they never really last longer than a couple of hours.
And it says women who let their stuff out live 4 times longer?
Yes.
Yeah.
So Joy's going to live to be 250?
Mm-hmm. 300. Yeah.
And you'll probably die in a week and a half.
Most likely, so I don't have to deal with it.
What are you holding?
Oh, I have an email from somebody. Said, hey, Russ, listening via the archives, as I now live in Wichita, Kansas, after living in DFW for a decade, the "You Suck" rant on the 25th was great. I'm just getting around to hearing that. I own rental property and have tenants who receive food stamps, free utilities, free medical, and free housing who sit around all day, watch TV, or play video games, and they complain to me that the government doesn't do enough to help the poor people. If you decide to sell a giant forehead stamp that says, "You suck," I'll take 6. Steve Ulrich.
Probably make some cash from that.
The "You Suck" stamps.
If all you do is sit around, it sounds like the Tennessee's guide, you sit around, you're making absolutely no effort, and you're complaining because you're not getting enough. The government's not helping the poor people. You're poor for a reason.
Well, there are people, honestly, as you well know, that simply can't work, maybe got themselves in a situation, and maybe you've tried.
I'm not talking about people who are in it for some type of, because of a disability. I'm talking about people who can, that don't want to.
I think that's a very small percentage of the people that are on the government.
Are you a fool?
No, that's a small percentage of the people.
You're a fool.
Most people are out there trying to work.
You're a fool.
Oh, I think most of them at least have tried to get a job.
Fool. Stop it. Chuck. Stupid. You think most of them out there trying to get a job?
At least have tried and maybe got discouraged in this market. Because there's fewer jobs out there.
We have people that swim over the Rio or under, however they get across it. So I know someone probably past the Rio Grande. Is that right?
Yes.
The Rio Grande.
Yes.
Come all the way up here, don't speak the language, have no place to live. They find jobs, they find homes, they get cars, and they drive in the goddamn left lane coming to work.
I understand that, but again.
So how do you explain somebody who was born here with assistance from the government? They can't find a job, but you got illegals who could come up here, work their asses off, happy to get to work, and never stop, and they'll work in the worst conditions that you could possibly fathom.
It's because you've come to a different standard of living. Once you've lived here your whole life, you do expect a certain standard. You're right. These people.
So their perspective has changed.
Well, yes.
So you think all those the hundreds of thousands of people that came out of Katrina that still are living off the government.
Small percentage is still living off the government.
You're a fool.
I think it's a small.
That was pretty good.
Do you have the percentage in front of you? Because I don't.
I'll go look it up.
Okay. I think it's a small percentage of people that have just given up and are still in those trailers. Of all the people that left Louisiana.
You're a fool.
Thank you, Chuck.
If you're getting money off the government and you don't do anything and you make no effort, you suck.
Well, and also, okay, so you're going to tell somebody they suck, put a big "you suck" stamp on their face, and then they're going to believe it. They're not going to do anything.
Nothing's going to change. The entire, whether it's welfare or any other type of social service, that hasn't done anything to reduce poverty. They're still there.
Beat them into the ground.
And it doesn't matter. This isn't a black, white, Hispanic issue. It's anybody that's on any social service. If you don't get up and try and do anything, you suck.
Maybe they have. Maybe they've tried and just, this job market is hard right now. There's a ton of people.
How is it you got Hispanics that can come up here, illegals that can come up and get jobs, and they're working the very next day? And they're absolutely ecstatic to do it. They never do a half-assed job, and they'll stay there until it's done.
Again, I go back to Americans. We have gotten lazy, and we expect a certain standard of living. And you're right. They won't do a lot of those jobs.
If I'm said something.
I did. You're so passionate about this. I would kind of picture you maybe doing a sermon.
Oh, God.
I said, didn't come here today to talk about social services. But if you're on welfare and you do nothing to better yourself, you suck.
Amen.
If you got the babies, if you got the little babies, just for the extra cash from the government, you suck. You got the right to pay for them babies. I don't have the right to pay for them.
God doesn't think I suck.
Have the babies, don't make me pay for them. You suck. If you in government housing, I said if you in government housing, and you make no attempt to better yourself, you suck! God damn it. If you constantly, I said constantly drain our medical services with no intent, I said no intent.
Oh, that's a new move.
That's what I do.
Kind of a arm back, leg kick, same thing.
It was almost like half a running man.
Yeah.
What was I in the middle of?
No intent.
No intent of paying back.
Oh, all right. I said if you constantly drain our medical services with no intent of paying back or adding to society, you suck. If you think the government is that they should take care of you forever, that's always your lifestyle, you suck.
Reach out.
You set the example. Yeah, here's the other part. I ain't got no win to do the rest of this. If you live like that, you set the example for your children.
Oh, totally.
So you live in poverty and you're not showing them any means to better yourself. You suck. And you're also going to raise a new generation of you suck that I got to pay for. And that sucks.
Well, again, I'd have to go back to the fact that what is the percentage? Is that a small percentage of people that just sit around?
What are we talking about?
People just anybody don't do anything, yeah.
I think you could probably go through and find people who just depend on it nonstop.
Well, we saw that with
people who actually can get up and go get a job. I'm not talking about anybody that's old, that's got some type of disability. I'm talking about somebody that can get up and go get a job and actually do something and add to society. And if you sit around and you just want to wait on that check every month, you suck! Suck.
I understand. God.
If it were up to me, you wouldn't get dick.
I know you wouldn't.
No medical.
No medical?
No food. No housing. No smokes. No 4 whole fried chickens and a Coke. Nothing. Not until you got your fat ass up and say, you know what? I'm better than this. I'm going to get up and I'm going to try. Just give it a shot. Just try. If you don't try, you suck. John F. Kennedy said it. That's not what your country can do for you because you suck.
He didn't say that.
Thank you. Should we break here?
Had a nice Blues Brothers reference.
Is that what you were setting on?
We'll be back to the Russ Martin Show. to the Russ Martin Show.
How you get to the point to where you justify that in your head as this is going to be my existence for the rest of my life. I'm going to sit in a crap house full of kids with no chance of anything. Just sit there and you wait for the check to come from the government. My one life, and I'm going to spend it just like this.
Because it's safe. I think fear works into it. It's like, if I quit this, first
you
of all,
got no chance of bettering yourself. You got no chance of getting anything that you really want.
In their mind, they've said, this is what life gave me. This is what I'm doing. You're right. I got a house full of kids. What are they going to do? If I quit this, okay, the government check stops coming. Well, what if I get laid off? I hear about a lot of people getting laid off and the economy's
well, then you can go back on unemployment, and luckily for you, welfare will always be there for you.
Laid off? I mean, they're working. And a lot of these people, it's the only life they've known. And that's why we created a permanent subclass.
And we did that with welfare. Mm-hmm. You go back and you can look at people that are for welfare reform, and a lot of the reasons they throw out is it did nothing to help alleviate poverty. That stayed at status quo since its inception.
Again, what's the motivation?
It's not good for a stable family structure. You go through an entire list. It would be best you start cutting them off. The best motivation that anybody has for getting up and doing something for themselves is not having nothing to eat.
You're absolutely right, but they've become used to it.
Then you cut them off. You have another kid, I'm not going to give you any extra cash. In fact, I'm going to take $100 off a month. Now, have another baby, see what happens.
That's what communist countries do. We don't in this country. We just don't. We don't think that way. At least we think that way, you and I in this room. But the people that pass the laws never going to stand up and say that.
What would be your incentive not to?
These people are poor.
I think most people are tired of society being drained by the expectant non-laborers that just. This is what I'm due.
I think there's a fear that the next thing, okay, these people have nothing. I guess they're going to go steal. They're going to come out and steal stuff out of my house to get by.
The biggest argument for all of this is illegal immigration. If a good portion of the people that can work, that aren't disabled, that are on any type of social services, you got out and you went to work, illegal immigration wouldn't be as bad as it is because there wouldn't be as many jobs. And to say that there are no jobs available, what do you think we're doing with 20,000 illegals in this country? They're not up here just for sightseeing.
I don't think these people that are wanting jobs, they don't want those jobs.
If you're not working at all, then any job. What about just the satisfaction of doing something?
That's you.
And getting something back.
That's you. That's not in everybody. That's just not.
That's almost Pavlovian. You go and do something, and you anticipate the reward that comes. I hate to get too insightful, but you anticipate the reward that comes from that.
I don't think these people have ever known that in their whole lives. They don't have that emotion because they never experienced it.
There was a family that lived 3 doors down from. I don't know how they were in the same neighborhood with us. We were probably lower middle class when I was a kid. It's probably 1970. There were 3 houses down. They were on welfare. A house full of retarded kids. A bunch of slingers. Because we used to do that. They were all retarded, and we go down there and we'd have dog crap fights.
Well, they're really retarded.
Yeah.
And you threw dog crap at retarded children?
It's a lot easier to win.
God. They weren't actually retarded.
A couple of them were. And they were looking for ways to, this is back when they just had food stamps, they were looking for ways to beat the food stamp system or turn in more paperwork and get more money.
I've heard of that.
Didn't want to do anything. One of the retarded kids was out there one day in the station wagon, and I guess he thought it was low, and he stuck the water hose in it and filled up the gas tank.
Well, that has no relationship with the fact that we're poor.
No,
you don't let your retarded kids have the water. That's funny. I'm sorry.
Even I think I was 10 at the time. I watched it all happen. He came outside, grabbed the water hose, looked at the station wagon, opened the thing, shoved the nozzle in, and let it go until water was coming out.
You felt no need to go over and tell him, hey, don't do that.
I'm 10. I'm not old enough to rat anybody out. I'm just there to appreciate. I was there to enjoy the moment. Carpe diem. You always told me that. Shut up.
See, he's the retarded kid.
But it was just it was a house full of nasty white trash filth that didn't want to do anything except have the dog fights.
Okay, and that's probably what happened to their kids, and that's all they've ever known. You say just do something.
So you think that's
back.
What they've
that's all they know. They don't
evolved
know.
into is a bunch of adult dog slingers.
That's very possible, but they don't know anything. They don't know the joy of going out and doing something and getting a new car, going out and doing something, getting new clothes.
You know it exists. You see people around you.
Okay. I can beat that argument.
Okay, go right ahead.
That argument. I know a lot of things exist that I'll never have. Learjets and such. I know they're out there, but for me, I know in my mind, unless I win the lottery, I ain't never going to have my own Learjet.
No, you don't want it.
Yeah, I do.
You don't want it. Obviously, you don't want it, or you change something in your lifestyle. Find a job that pays more. Some job with a lot less grief where you look forward to go into every day.
Good point.
Trey, you want to buy his headphones? You could take sideline.
That was worth $150. Here's your cash.
You could take sideline jobs. There are different things that you could.
I guess you're right.
You could be an entrepreneur. Because you got the safety of this job. You could do things on the side, on the weekends. Might evolve into something, might not. So if you really wanted the Learjet, you don't want it because you don't want to work for it.
Well, in a way, you know what? Now that you put it that way, you're right. I don't really, really, really want a Learjet. But there are things that would be nice to have, but I don't want it bad enough, or I would do it.
You just beat your own argument.
I know. You talked me out of it. Screw a bunch of Learjets.
I'm going to start charging you guys.
I told you I was willing to pay you for that one.
Are we done with this?
We're done with that. I found another thing kind of along those same lines. We were talking earlier about the outsourcing of customer service jobs. AT&T pledged in 2006 to bring back 5,000 customer service jobs to the U.S. from India, eliminating its low-wage foreign call centers, okay? The CEO, Randall Stevenson, said...
Does it say anywhere on there, by the way, how much they would pay the people in India?
It didn't say what they pay in India, but here it says they pay the Americans $30,000 annual salary for these jobs.
Okay. You probably consider 10% of that, maybe?
In India?
Yeah. A little more?
A little more.
Okay.
Okay. He said a
third.
I was about to say 10,000 a year.
All right.
He told a business group in San Antonio, so far only 1,400 jobs have been successfully brought back. Stevenson gave an especially candid speech, deploring the fact that high school dropout rate here is as high as 50% in some cities. He said, if I had a business that half the product we turned out was defective and you couldn't put it in the marketplace, I would shut that business down. He said this company can do work in Bangladesh, India, just as easily as it could in the U.S., but he's trying to bring those jobs back here. And he says, I can't find enough qualified people to do it.
What type of qualifications do you have to have?
For customer service, I wouldn't think.
I mean, really, if you're working from some type of script, and then after a while, it's like anything else. Somebody calls up with something. I don't have to look at the script because I've been through this. You become a little more intuitive.
If you're speaking
so why is it
language.
that hard? Especially if you got a job that's paying $35,000 to start.
30. You got to read.
30 to start. And they can't find people that can read.
That's what he's saying. They can't find enough qualified. Maybe they're asking for some other qualification other than just reading.
Well, I'm sure you have to be able to run a computer.
They couldn't ask for too many qualifications if they turned all this stuff over to India over the past few years.
But their education system is through the roof. I mean, they have people, they're cranking out high school graduates, college graduates that are more educated than most of ours, and who, just because of their situation, they'll work for $10,000 a year and they'll think it's great. Again, you have a welfare system that, what is their incentive to graduate high school? Check's going to come, whether I do or don't.
So the entire educational process in India is superior to what we have.
It's getting that way.
That's why the Indians always got us.
I'll tell you why.
They didn't.
They were outsourcing. What, Dan?
I was going to say the reason why they're having problems finding qualified enough people would be because if you want qualified enough people, $30,000 isn't enough to find the qualified people that you're looking for.
$30,000 is a lot of cash. Dallas cops start at $35,000.
I thought they started like in the 40s. But either way.
Not according to Laura Miller when we were having that argument a few years ago.
Yeah.
She was talking about the city council. Well, we have to take off October, November, whatever. Well, why do you get 3 or 4 months off? Well, we don't make that much. Not a full-time job. It only make, what was it, 38?
For mayor? She upped it.
Now, thanks for your help, though. We're only making $30,000, $40,000 a year. What are you starting Dallas cops at? I don't think they get 2 or 3 months off.
No.
Why is it you think because you're on the city council, you only make 30, 35 grand, you can take a quarter off?
It's not a bad entry-level job at all. A lot of teachers make a lot less than that.
Well, she didn't have an answer for that.
No, of course not.
The only reason I say that is because...
hang on. We got sidetracked. Where are you going?
Oh, I was just saying that some people that might be qualified enough to do the job think 30's not enough. I'd rather find a job that's more, especially having to put up with the people calling in as far as a customer service situation.
If all the qualifications really entail is I got to be able to read, I can interpret what I'm reading, and I can listen to what people are telling me, I take 30 grand. I'll take that as a part-time job. They local?
That's what I'm thinking.
Let me see where
I'd love to work tech support.
Oh, my God. They're located in El Paso, Texas, Goldsboro, North Carolina, Louisville, Kentucky, Louisiana, Orange Park, Florida, and Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
And so far, out of 5,000 positions, they've only been able to fill 1,400.
And obviously, it's bad enough that the CEO felt it was important enough to bring that up at a meeting. We've tried. We're trying to bring it back. We can't get enough people to fill the jobs.
I don't care where the gap comes from. Even if it's just a stopgap measure, because you're going to have a lot of people that are between jobs, still 30 grand is better than what you're going to get from the government.
I think there's people that work where Joy does, and that's a nice company in Fort Worth that don't make that.
All right. I'm at a loss. Go ahead, Dan.
Okay. American Airlines and Delta Airlines canceled hundreds of flights Thursday as they continue their inspections of wiring bundles on some of their planes. American canceled 132 flights of its estimated 2,300 scheduled for Thursday. Delta expects about 275 cancellations through early Friday, affecting about 3% of Delta's worldwide flight schedule. About 70% of Delta's MD-88 fleet was to be inspected by early evening Thursday, with normal operations planned by early Friday.
Hold on a second. All the phone lines are lit, and lines spending 8 minutes on each line. Go ahead. You're on the air.
I'm on the air?
What'd I say?
Yeah.
I lied. You're on the air.
Oh, all I got to say is sign me up for that. I'd love to be able to sit at home if they could forward the calls to the house. Nothing.
Thank you. You just proved my point.
Oh, my God.
Well, if he was blind or handicapped, yeah, if you can forward all the calls to the house, then he can do the same job.
This day and age, you really can do that, but I think they kind of like that whole call center feel. People going to work. If there's a problem, you got a supervisor standing right beside you.
All right. You're on the air.
Tell them they can't pass the drug test.
Who can't?
These people that they want to...
Yeah, last time you passed me. Go ahead, Dan.
You should do that more often, by the way.
Screen them on, answer them on screen?
Yeah, whether it's on the air or off the air, you're just bored in a break, just out of curiosity.
Just to see what you go through?
Yeah.
Because it's just the quality of those three was remarkably different than what we normally get. The people that actually have made it through.
Well, hang on now. I'm intrigued. Go ahead. You're on the air.
Yeah, I'm an operations manager for a call center, and I can tell you there are people out there that can fill these positions. We pay significantly less than $30,000 a year. We have no problem filling our positions.
Well, and it's not just $30,000 a year. It's health insurance. It's money into your 401k. It's not just the base figure that you're looking at.
Absolutely. So yeah, I'm really having a hard time believing that they aren't moving those positions over from India because they're not finding qualified applicants. They're not moving over those positions from India because it's going to cost them significantly more money to run a call center operation in the United States.
Why bring any of them back then?
Because then it looks like, and I don't know if they are or not, but it looks like you're making an effort because everybody hates to call a number that's outsourced to another country when I bought a product in this country and I expect somebody that lives here to help me with it.
So you're making a statement by at least trying.
Thank you, sir. Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense. In that case, that makes sense.
And if you go back and you figure out whatever you're paying them in India, let's say it's $5,000. You still have to pay taxes.
Yeah.
You don't have to pay insurance. You don't have to offer insurance. You don't have to offer all the other amenities that come along with working here. So you're saving an ass load.
I'd like to know what worth $5,000 would buy you in India. Maybe that is like $30,000 here.
I don't know. Doesn't make any difference to me.
It is. You roll in there with, like $5, $10, they think you're a rock star.
Okay.
When'd you go to India?
I haven't, but a very good friend of mine is Indian, and he's gone over there to see family a few times, and always stays at a hotel. He'll give the bellhop like $1 or $2, and you would think he just handed him a gold medallion. He would tip people in a bar like $2. He said you would think they're about to pass out behind the bar. They're like, and the next night he would come in. What table would you like? We clear out the entire bar just for you.
You imagine the blowjobs.
Stop it.
That was Russia.
Russia what?
When their economy was depressed, if you went over there with American money.
For a BJ?
A friend worked over there. He said he had $30,000 a year. He had a
I'm
maid.
not outsourcing my crank to get a blowjob.
I'm just saying, you were a rock star for $30,000 a year.
Same thing they say in Cuba right now is the same. I had a friend go over there. He says, hot college women. And he knows hot women because he's always with them. Will walk up to you in bars and just grab it and go, let's go. And they'll do anything for $20. I mean, these are young, hot women. Because they need the money. $20 to them is $1,000 an hour here or for them.
Who's horny?
He said it's almost to the point where you have to swat women off of it. And he told me this on the phone with a straight face. He goes, I swear to God,
why you want to do a brother like that?
Because it gets irritating after a while. You're brushing, going, will you leave? Will you stop grabbing that? And they'll just walk up to you.
All hot, young Cuban women.
Yes. Bars, not just one place, but bars full of them. That's the only money they have.
What is it, Dan?
I was going to say, I want to say that they have some, I was thinking of different places as far as resorts, but I think we could pull a remote off in Cuba.
I don't believe we're allowed to go there without some kind of real good reason, are we?
No, we're not allowed to go there, period.
Are you sure?
Positive.
We can go to Gitmo. That's right up our alley.
Well, how was your friend going to Cuba getting
He got some, and I'll have to ask him what it was, but there was some special
dispensation.
Yes, for his trip.
Well, you can go. You can go to Mexico and then fly to Cuba. You can go a lot of places and then fly to Cuba.
I don't care anymore. I got a heart on. Let's go Mystic Tang Gavin and bang him. Here, break here. All right, we'll be back.
Hey, Rod. We'll be back to the Russ Martin Show. Format doesn't matter. Talk, country, rock, Hispanic, even boogie. He's numero one over them all. The Russ Martin.
Sort of a yacht or
okay.
Something nice.
I'll wait till tomorrow. Wait for the real birthday.
I want you to know now. I blow it sitting on stuff.
Yeah, you really do.
Yeah, because you won't be able to sleep tonight.
Me or Chloe?
Chloe.
I need to sleep tonight.
If I tell him? Why do you need to sleep tonight?
I just need rest. I'm just tired.
Pretty fantastic.
I know, because I was at my gig last night, and I was thinking, what is it that we were talking about? We had a conversation yesterday.
It isn't that one.
Okay.
You're still going to get that. This is another one. Okay. In addition. Okay. JD, do you know about this already?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Dan? No. I think we actually mentioned it just as a bit yesterday, and then Trey checked on it, and yeah.
Not the cat in the cash.
In the cash cube? No. That's old hat. No pun.
I'll wait until tomorrow.
I want you to know now.
I think I might know then.
You wait till tomorrow. I'm not going to let you have it.
But it is something I'm going to want.
Yes.
Okay.
Have you figured it out, John?
Yes.
Jot it down. Let me see if you got it right.
Okay.
Dan, are you close?
I haven't a clue.
Normally, you're way ahead of John.
Thanks.
Not on this one. I can't win them all.
No.
No? Okay.
Front row Jimmy Buffett is cat pissed at this.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
You want to know?
I don't know. I kind of want to be surprised now.
I still think, even though you know it's coming, there's still going to be the joyousness of opening something.
Yeah, and truthfully, if you know now, you're going to have to contemplate things.
Yeah.
A strategy.
Actually, for you, it would be better to know now because you'll really need some sort of strategy.
So it's kind of like one gift today, one gift tomorrow, I guess? Or
No, you get the rest of the stuff tomorrow.
Okay, well then I guess I must know.
I don't feel like telling you.
Until you said that, I was going to wait till tomorrow. Strategy, I'm like...
This doesn't need any music. Oh, you don't even know what it is.
Clue.
Yeah, nice game show theme.
See what I got.
Yep.
A 1-minute shopping spree at Majestic Liquors.
Oh, my God.
Anything you can grab in that 60 seconds and carry to the counter, Flo Rayburn is yours.
You are lying?
Come on down.
If this is real...
This is real.
This is real.
Danny talked to, Trey talked to Danny at Majestic. What is Danny?
Regional vice president.
All right. So he doesn't have to check with anybody.
No.
If he says it's done, we're finished.
Oh, my God.
Where's the nearest Majestic to here?
Northwest Highway and 183.
Okay. That's the one that I go to. Every time I go there, I see Danny in there.
Okay. Well, now you got the store mapped out in your head and you know what to hit.
Oh, my God.
Are we telling the other part, though?
No.
Okay.
Oh, jeez. I see. It's so fantastic. I didn't even think about
They're going to lock up the store. Give you time to go in there, get situated. Anything you can grab, you get no shopping cart. No bags, no nothing.
That's the way shopping sprees
It's like the parts carry thing in the salvage yard.
Toes and chains.
Anything you can carry with your hand. No chains, no nothing.
So what's the rule? Like, I have to go and grab it and carry it to the counter?
Grab as much as you can, one swoop. We let him, he can make as many trips as he can in 60 seconds.
Yeah. If you drop one, though, you lose a bottle.
Oh, of course. I mean, if I drop it, it's...
Yeah, you don't get to replace that. Anything you make it to the counter with.
Okay, now what's the catch?
There ain't no catch.
What's
and then
the catch?
after you gather whatever you want, they tally it up and I'll pay for it.
I got to walk in my hands?
No. It's just like you see on the game show network or the home shopping network.
Sure.
Same thing. You run in, you grab the stuff, carry it to the counter.
What's the smirk on his face?
Trey's a dick. He's always got that smirk.
Well, whatever it is, that's huge. That's unbelievable.
Who is the best person ever? Come and cherish me.
God.
Rub my balls.
No, thank you. That's huge.
I'm excited for you.
This could be very, very cool. I don't even drink it. This sounds fun.
You're right. The strategy thing, I'm like...
is he allowed to go tonight to plot out?
I can't keep him from getting in there.
Okay. Just wonder if there was...
Are we going to be able to do this on the air? I don't want to do it on a cell phone.
Yeah.
Let me ask Gavin. Gavin?
Yes.
Can we set up the transmitter or whatever at Majestic and be able to carry it here in the studio?
Yeah, I don't see why we can't try to pull something off.
How much lead time do you need? I know how difficult things are here. Do we have a broadcast unit like the Marty unit, the K-Love, KRLD they have?
No. The only thing that it would take work, but what we could do is we could use a KRLD Marty, which will go into the ISDN there.
All right, so you can ping pong it between Majestic, KRLD, and me.
I could, yeah.
Okay, that'll be fine. Thank you.
I'll try my best.
If you can't do it, let me know now.
Well, that's the thing. Ping ponging takes some work, so I'm going to try to figure out if I can get enough staff to ping pong.
How is it TV stations drive out to a disaster and they're broadcasting in 8 seconds? I can't give you almost 24 hours notice if we do it about this time, and you can't do it. Well, how does KRLD cover breaking news?
Because KRLD has a Marty unit. We don't. The station does not have that.
Why don't we have one?
Because we're not allowed it. They're all taken in the city. We don't get one.
We're not allowed by who?
They're all taken. All the signals are taken.
All the frequencies?
Yes.
They make units now that you can carry, and
we don't have one. So that's not going to do any good. I'll need this by tomorrow, Gavin.
I'm going to start working on it.
And did you get the flag thing worked out for me at the Texas Motor Speedway?
No, we can't do that.
Why?
I asked. Because they prepare for that a year in advance.
To swing a green flag back and forth?
Yeah. Yes. They say they absolutely want you to do it, but they can't have it done for this race.
Why?
Because they already have everyone.
They already have everyone what?
They already have people doing the green flag.
Let them do the next race.
We can't do that.
Who's waving the green flag this time?
I don't know who's doing it.
They get as much free radio out of them than Eddie Gossage gets from me.
Sometimes they have movie celebrities. Sometimes it's sponsors of the event. A lot of times, like it'll be the CEO of Samsung.
Then I'm not going.
Well,
and I'm in with JD on the sterilization thing now.
No, you can't do that.
Wow. I want the green flag.
No.
He was telling me yesterday, there's a special technique. Those guys are already watching for the flag. All you got to do is wave it. Doesn't it go like this?
Big figure eight?
Yeah.
I think so.
Isn't that it?
Mm-hmm.
I got it.
One to go. You got to tighten it up. Hold out your finger.
Well, I got to hold my finger.
One to go.
I don't get it.
One to go. Before you're going to drop the green flag, you take the flag, you hold it tight with one finger out there, and you show everybody one to go. Then the next time by, wave the flag.
I think they got radios in their heads. People go, start the race. Step on it.
But yeah, their spotters will tell them one to go.
All right. He's waving the flag.
They still have a whole color flag system for.
Oh, I'm bringing my own flag. So you're not going to be able to set this up?
I'm going to call our engineer. We have a KRLD.
Screw the broadcast. I want the green flag thing at TMS.
No, I tried. I can't set it up for this race. They said they'd love to have you for another race.
What is it, Ryan?
Anthony on line 1 knows what they're doing with the green flag.
Yes, Anthony.
They're actually going to be letting a fan do the green flag. Channel 8's giving it away as a contest.
Thank you, Anthony.
Nope.
Gavin, you're a little lying fag.
Why am I a lying fag?
You said that somebody was already lined up to do this.
Well,
they haven't even picked a winner yet.
Well, obviously it's a contest winner. I don't have that information. I know they're doing a Gentleman Start Your Engines contest, but I didn't know they were doing a green flag contest.
Okay. Thanks for the help.
I'm not a liar and I'm not a fag. I tried.
I got no time to deal with either one of those. All right. What time do you think we should do this tomorrow, Trey? The Clo thing.
That's up to your discretion.
Danny will lock the store up at any point in time.
Yeah.
Okay. You have a preference, Clo?
I don't care. No preference what time. I don't care for 3 o'clock in the morning.
It's a good birthday, isn't it?
Hell yeah.
Who's the best person ever? Come rub my balls. Grab my balls. I'll give you another 30 seconds. All right. Anything else before we go?
I have some audio. You want to hear it? It's J.D. Chazin.
Who?
J.D. He's a singer. Chazin.
I don't know who that is.
And Chance Crawford and J.D. The only reason I played is this J.D. fellow was on with John Jay and Rich in Phoenix.
What? What is Chuck laughing at?
Said it wrong.
What I say wrong?
Well, hang on. Who is this person, first of all? What do they do?
Do you want me to say his name? Actually,
what did they do?
He was one of the singers in NSYNC. That's his claim to fame.
So Chuck knows one of the singers from NSYNC and JD don't?
Yes.
You say the name again, John.
JD Chazin, C-H-A-Z.
He's not even getting the initials right.
What is it?
What's the name?
JC Chazé.
I was busy when I wrote this.
What cut?
It's only one cut on there. He's on the John G. and Rich show. That's
Oh, hell no.
Come on, play it. It's good. Really, it is. I really do have that other clip later, but we'll do it tomorrow. But this is good. Play it. Listen to it. It sounds great.
Is this more audio from White Trash from the guy with the camcorder?
Yes.
This is the Elvis set, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
Oh, hell no.
Listen to it. Just listen to it for a second.
Here's the reason I don't want to listen to it. Is in my head, White Trash at Nokia went off fine.
It did. It went off great. This will prove it to you.
But if I listen to this and it's anything short, I'm going to hate the fact that I got up there.
No, not at all. No, this sounds good considering the
what?
The audio source. It's some guy with a handy cam.
Trey, have you heard this?
Mm-hmm.
And?
It sounds great.
Are you smirking because of this, or is this your permanent dick smirking?
The audio quality is not the best, but the band sounds great. You sound great. It's worth listening to.
I think your Elvis is nicely tweaked. It's been nicely tweaked.
Did you hear this too?
Mm-hmm.
Dan?
I told him not to.
All right. I'll do this.
Okay.
If I listen to it and it's embarrassing, Chloe loses his shopping spree.
Oh. Don't do that to me. Because you're critical. That's not fair.
Excuse me for a moment. You were certain 12 seconds ago.
I am. I'm still certain that it is good considering the audio source. You sound great. The band sounds great.
All right. I'm not going to... I won't take into account the quality of the recording.
Okay.
Just the presentation.
Okay.
You're sure?
I'm willing to risk his liver, yes. You need to quit drinking anyway. I'm sorry. It's good. It really is. I'm good.
Last chance before I play it. You have something to say, Dan?
No, sorry.
Okay.
Trey, what do you think?
Don't look at me.
You pussy, just a minute ago you were all for it. It's your dick and a pussy. All right, go ahead.
You're a hermaphrodite.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
All right. Horns are all right. What'd you do, cut the set down?
Yeah.
All right, that's Mike Mraz. Last chance to save Chloe's shopping spree.
I don't want you to be overly critical. If you have an open mind, it sounds great. Yes.
If it's borderline and I'm on key, because in my head, that's about all I got at Nokia.
It is. I think it's better than that.
Okay. Dan, he's the only one that's not a kiss ass. Does he keep this spree or not?
I think so.
You don't sound too...
You're right on... what else could be... How could that be any better?
Actually, I think you actually sound a lot better than when you first started out.
Is that a compliment?
Yes.
Yeah, the band sounds... I mean, it sounds great.
Who just sighed?
That was Flo. He's relieved that he gets his spree.
is it, Trey?
Sound great.
Sounds fantastic.
Chuck, what are you squinching about?
Right on. You're right on.
Why were you making faces?
I was listening. I had my eyes closed because I was listening.
Oh. That's the best Elvis you've done.
No, it is.
Also, if it sounded bad, you would turn it off.
Without a doubt.
Because you always turn off whenever you're singing.
No, because there was something to lose on this one.
But that's the best Elvis you've done. You're not as deep as you were and throaty. You sound great. I will say this, and your singing is actually good on this.
Well, you know, lay it on.
Keep the spree.
There you go. I think I like it.
What are you laughing at, Trey?
Not this.
All right, let's go, Chuck. What were you laughing at?
Oh, it's some of the old air checks I dug up.
Of?
You.
Doing?
KLLI.
I heard you playing those in the hall. Did I tell you to delete those?
Not a chance.
You know that trailer you got for the Samsung 500?
Uh-huh.
You want to keep it?
I do. I never can delete those.
Okay.
Yesterday, off the air, I remember you threatening with something much worse. I remember what it was, but I was like, damn.
Yeah, I forgot what I said, but I meant that. Go ahead, Dan.
All right. For all of your team building or party service needs, check out Outrageous Adventures, their website, outrageousadventures.com. For more information about the Russ Martin Show, including pictures, videos, and more, go to russmartin.com. To answer any question you may have about the show, go to russmartin.info. To instant email the show and only during the show, send that to studio@russmartin.com. Other show websites, johndavidryan.com, danantasos.com, djglow.com, treytrinholm.com, and for Chuck on the keyboards, chuckwheat.com. The official caterer of the Russ Martin Show is Sugar Babies Barbecue. Their website, sugarbabiesbbq.com. Limo service is provided by Limo George. His website, limogeorge.com. The official liquor store of the Russ Martin Show and closed birthday headquarters is Majestic Fine Wine and Spirits. Their fantastic website, majesticliquors.com, and the official site for Live 105.3 is live1053.com.
All right, see you guys tomorrow. See you.
You can now listen to The Russ Martin Show anytime you want on the web at russmartin.info. Russ Martin Show.